I bet. But what's up with it though, King, man? How everything going, man?
Oh man, I can't complain, bro. Everything going good. You know what I'm saying?
Overstood, man. We're gonna call this the Naga Takeover. And we probably gotta tell Thought to copy the link and put it in his web browser when he come back on.
All right.
But man, I was looking at a video with Theophilo Banger. How you feel about Uncle Theophilo Banger?
I feel like you know what I'm saying. He put in some good work, bro. You know, people try to call him pseudo, but you can't really say pseudo when he actually pointing out cognizance between the two languages he's dealing with. And if they ain't gonna do the work themselves to prove it's pseudo, then saying pseudo out their mouth, it really don't hold no weight.
That boy Theophilo Banger say when it comes anything written by a white man is a lie. Don't believe nothing the white man say when it come to African history.
Right. Now I'm with him on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. The Africans ain't the ones divided their languages up into different language families. You know what I'm saying? It's like we learning about African languages and cultures from the European. And to me, that's really the pseudo shit, the shit that's coming up outside of Africa.
He was talking about the Edomite philosophy, how it's Philo and then Sophia, basically saying like his knowledge. Um, I think he was saying like Philo is. I can't remember the full understanding of the breakdown, but he basically was saying they got philosophy out of Egypt.
Yeah, that's a fact because you got to think about it. All the early Greek philosophers went studied in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? They went sit at the feet of the Egyptians and learned everything they know from them. And now it's like we putting their version of the story over the actual people who taught it to them, and that don't make no sense to me.
Hey, Thought. Hey, you probably gotta copy the link and then go to your web browser and put the link in your web browser. If they kick you out one more time, just do that. It's gonna work.
All
Naga World Order, period. Hey, it's the Naga Takeover, man. We got the Nagas in this building, the OGs in this building. We just waiting on. Let me get the link out there, everybody. Yeah, King, man, I want you to whatever you got on your mind to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to get to it, and whether it's this show or not this show, I want you to discuss haplogroups, like haplogroups from beginners.
Yeah, already. You know what I'm saying? Really, we're trying to stay in the people ill, you know what I'm saying? Stay out there in the airwaves, try to grow the brain, you know what I'm saying? We out here recruiting, trying to get some of these YNs up on our belt, you know what I'm saying? And keep it going, bro. It's like it's two different versions of history being told, you know what I'm saying? And it's like people want to discredit the story that our ancestors telling about themselves, and we doing everybody a disservice when we do that.
Right. Like they can't. Like, I'm about to explain it to you. Give me like 30 seconds. I'm gonna explain to you how the shit be seeming coming up. Give me like 30 seconds.
All right. Yeah, for the haplogroup show, bro, we could get together and do that because my little homie, my Naga brother Dan West, he wanted to come speak on that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I I know a lot about it, but he the one that really put me on for the genetics and all that. You know what I'm saying? So he a little further along, and he wanted to kind of come, not really give a breakdown, but come with me, you know what I'm saying, so we could both go in on this matter, because there's a lot of speculation going out there about African haplogroups, and people are trying to make African haplogroups out to be Eurasian and want to call others pseudo because they don't go along with this Eurasian narrative, and they the real pseudo, because it's single nucleotide polymorphisms is not what's making the distinction between the Africans and the Eurasians. It's admixture with the Denisovan and Neanderthal, which bring forth point mutations, and they're not going into telling y'all about the point mutations. You know what I'm saying? The point mutations accounts for differences in phenotype, like pale skin, blue eyes, blind hair, so on and so forth.
Okay. So the main question that we always get, I thought you had copied the paste in the web browser. I mean the link and put it in your web browser.
Yeah.
It shouldn't kick you off no more. Sorry about that. All right, King. So when we talk
Brother.
what makes you non-African, or when do these haplogroups, how long they got to be out of Africa to be African? How you take that whole conversation? Because we'll see haplogroups and they'll be like, these people Middle Eastern, these people from here. And then you look at the haplogroup, the origin of the haplogroup, you will see it originated in Africa. And what people are specifically talking about is something after it left Africa, being non-African. So how you break that down?
Well, I'll break it down like this. You know what I'm saying? We have African haplogroups that have genetic continuity not only in Africa but also in the Near East, the Levant. You know what I'm saying? The Arabian Peninsula. Now, the ones that migrated further into Asia and differentiated in Asia, then those would be your Eurasian haplogroups. But for us, this on the Y side, the E subclades, they would be African because most of them originated in Africa. You only have like a handful of E subclades that differentiated outside of Africa, but at the end of the day, they all trace back to African common ancestor. When you think about the most recent common ancestor, it'll be an African haplogroup, because like you have the EM35 subclades that did migrate out of Africa, but it's kind of they're using these terms to describe things, you know what I'm saying, when a lot of these terms that apply to these geographical locations wasn't even in existence during the time of these migrations. See, it has to show a distinction from the haplogroups you find in Africa. And a lot of them try to make it like, oh, mitochondrial haplogroup L3 migrated out of Africa, so it's non-African. That's not the case, because a lot of these African haplogroups that you find outside of Africa are more densely distributed within Africa than they are outside of Africa. Because, like, take EM35 for example, it has subclades that migrated to Europe, the Levant, the Near East, but when you look at the distribution of these the subclades of EM35, they show a lot of them show more a greater population carrying these subclades inside of Africa, and people try to negate the fact that it's more densely distributed in Africa and call it Eurasian, which to me will be the real pseudo stuff.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so when we discuss, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Break down this video with Uncle Theophile Banga in the next hour. how you feel about do you think African knowledge or um African science, African technology, do you think African um science and technology, or do you think that it's up to us to go find uh the the uh the field in Africa?
I think it's absolutely being suppressed. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like it is our responsibility to go find it and get it out to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we had a brother in one of our chats. He wound up leaving because of all of the back chat stuff that go on. You know, the back chat get messy, but and those Africans not going to stick around for that. But he came forward with a technology that can revolutionize the whole entire planet called microsonic technology. His name was Maxwell Chikumbutsu. You know what I'm saying? And he's basically drawing power from radio waves. And it's renewable energy, it's free energy, it's clean energy. He created a TV that runs without being plugged in the wall. You know what I'm saying? It runs
Mm,
off the radio waves. He got a motorbike that runs the same way as the electric motorbike that doesn't need to be charged, mind you. Like if you own a Tesla, you have to recharge that Tesla every so often. His car and his motorbike are self-charging. They could go a lifetime without being charged. And why this information and technology is being suppressed, I don't know. What then again, I ain't gonna say I don't know. I feel like it's being suppressed just because it's coming up out of the African mind. And this
right,
is not a new thing. This is something that's been going on for all of his story.
right. All right. So when we talk asking the white man for any type of help, asking a white man for any type of help, um, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically was saying that we got to come to the table with the white man, um, as equality with equality instead of inferiority coming to superiority. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because as a people, we should be self-sufficient. We shouldn't have to go to the white man for anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually the reverse. The white man has to come to Africa in order to sustain their empires. It's like if Africans pool their resources and cut all the rest of the world off from their resources, then the power dynamics will change. So that's kind of why they try to keep the history of Africa suppressed, their technology suppressed, and the people divided. And that's something that we got to change.
Right, right, right. I think it was damn, I can't remember that Marcus Garvey quote. But when we talk about the Nagas, what is the Nagas?
Naga is a family, man. It's like we more than just a debate group. We more than just a back chat group. It's like we actually kick it with each other outside of social media. We're a real family, you know. It's like I done been to St. Louis and kicked it with Uncle Laurel and his family. Met his family and friends, and we sit down in politics, and we trying to get together this summer and do the same thing in Allentown, PA, where thought at. You know what I'm saying? So we are more of a family than we are a debate group. It's like we actually call and check on each other. Our kids know all of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are a family centered group, and we're trying to change the paradigm. You know what I'm saying? And actually leave something to our children and not just information outside of information.
Overstood. Thought is giving you trouble. Fucking with you.
Yeah, a little bit. I just keep popping back on though and shit. Like ain't about nothing.
You you just click the link or you had copy and paste it and put it in your website.
No, I copied and pasted and then put it into another web browser.
Yeah, because it's like we actually lend each other support, bro. It's like outside of social media, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going through something, I can call my brother Thought and talk to him, you know what I'm saying? It's like we are not alone. We support each other in all things. And we try to demonstrate that for the people so they can see that we are stronger together than we are apart. You know what I'm saying? We all about unity. Either you're going to unite with Naga or you're going to unite against Naga. But either way, you're going to unite.
Facts.
All right. We got Uncle. Hey, shout out to Sheikh Met the Goddess. Shout out Hekara. Shout out Uncle Shaka. Man, shout out DMG. We got DMG. Say Naga, what's goody?
That's my bro DMG. Shout out to DMG, the infamous. You know what I'm saying? He always keeping it real. He always open the doors for Naga and give us a home. You heard me? We appreciate that.
Most definitely, most definitely. How long has this fraction of Naga been around? As far as you, I knew Kakarot and y'all little gang right here. How long have y'all been around?
We've been together, bro, for a good 7, 8 years. You know what I'm saying? And actually, we used to fight each other. We came together. It's like it's certain like a Chinese proverb. You never know a man till you fight him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one day, and just individually between all of us, one day it's like we came together. It's like, man, we fighting, but we just having we have the same view, but different aspects of the same view. You know what I'm saying? So we actually started sitting down and having discussions instead of fighting, and that turned into something different. That we bonded. We bonded through bumping heads with each other, and then we came to a common ground to where instead of fighting, we'll look at all of these different aspects or different views of the same topic and put our heads together and build something that something tangible. And that's kind of why Naga been so strong. That's why you'll see the community rally together to come against Naga to stop Naga. You know what I'm saying? And that's our goal basically. Like I said a little while ago, either you're going to unite with Naga or unite against Naga. And we're open to working with anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to show the youth that, hey, us as a people could work together, you know what I'm saying? Contrary to popular belief or the narratives that's been told to us, we can actually work together. And this is what Naga been doing for the last 7 to 8 years. We kind of, the idea started in the Facebook groups and it grew inside the Lions Den. To be honest with you, it kind of grew inside the Lions Den. That was the avenue that kind of facilitated Naga's growth. And we just been rocking out with each other ever since, man.
Wavy, can you pull me up from here? All right, Ruger Lion here.
Yeah, that's thought.
Okay, my bad. Hey, my bad.
She like the sister Shannon Roman. That's another one of our Naga sisters. Hekara, that's Naga. Heru consciousness. It's
Oh
like,
damn, my bad. We got not. Oh damn, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Y'all, come on, my bad. That's my fault. That's my fault. That's my fault, dog. Hey,
and
go tell her
we
not.
all for the most part had different views, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we put the differences aside and ran it around what we have in common, and what we all got a common enemy. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't let our differences stop us from uniting together, you know what I'm saying, to build something to go against the common enemy. And the common enemy has been Eurocentrism. It's like it's nowhere around it.
Already. Shannon Ross says Naga is a knowledge base. We on like 7 years. Okay, okay. Peace to the
Yeah, for
gods.
real. She one of the original members. It started out, it was like me, the sister Shannon Roman, my brother Dame West, and brother Matt Dewberry. And Matt Dewberry brought in Uncle Larrell. We came across thought in the Lions Den, and we all resonated to each other. And once we came together, man, it's just like we became a family, and nothing could come between us. It's like that's not to say that we agree on everything, because we do all have our different views. But instead of airing our differences out in public, we discuss them inside like a family should do. You know what I'm saying? We discuss our differences in house. So when we come out here in the public, all they see is a unified front. But actually, our diversity within Naga is what makes us so unique. We're not just an echo chamber.
Already, already. I don't know if you heard of your new nickname, but Uncle DMG gave y'all a nickname yesterday, man. He called y'all the electromagnetic messiahs.
Yeah, hey, yeah, for real. DMG coined that term. He current coined that term, and he gave it to Uncle Larrell, because Uncle Larrell was the one on the forefront pushing the God is light is electromagnetism thing. But we all became knowledgeable of it, and we all once we all got behind it, it started to apply to the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Because we all come with different aspects of this. I don't want to call it a doctrine of this idea that God is light is electromagnetism. And it basically boils down to that if this thing that the religions of the planet are calling God is real, then it should manifest in the material world. It should manifest in your everyday life. And it was a way for us to find tangible evidence of this thing that the ancestors are calling God. And a lot of the opposition try to trap us within this Abrahamic paradigm, you know what I'm saying? But it actually transcends the Abrahamic paradigm, because if we look to Kemet, you have Ra, you have Atum, you know what I'm saying? That they're deifying sources of light. And if you look to a lot of the indigenous cultures, you find the same thing. Like Olodumare would be light, Chuku would be light. We could do this. You go to East Africa and the Kikuyu tribe, Nagai. This is actually a deity that kind of bears Naga's name. He is the divine and everlasting light. And I'm doing it a disservice by calling it a he, because it's not an anthropomorphic deity that a lot of these cultures are representing. And we are one with it, and it is one with us. We're not we're not giving honor and praise to anything outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? As above, so below.
Already, already. So when niggas be talking about when niggas be talking about oh shit, yeah, my connection is appreciate that, Hannah. When niggas be talking about niggas rather give credit to aliens on building on building the rather get a credit to goddamn Sumerians and the sea people and niggas want to give credit to everybody else but Africans for building the pyramids. How did it make you feel?
I mean, it's anything to take credit from actual Africans and their technological advances. Because when you think about all of the technology that it took to build the pyramids and to build that civilization, I want to say about 90 to 95% or more of it was born in Africa. When you look at stonemasonry was born in Africa, you know what I'm saying, going back over 100,000 years ago. You have mathematics in Africa as evidenced by the Ashango bone over 20,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff was developed in Africa, and I feel like they absolutely could have built the pyramids themselves because they were aware of these sciences going back for millennia. You know what I'm saying? Before any other civilization was aware of these sciences. They like to give credit to the Sumerians and Mesopotamia as being the birthplace of civilization, but what did they define civilization as? You know what I'm saying? Because you have hierarchy inside of Africa, ain't no telling how far back that go. Some of your oldest kingdoms and tribal settings going back further than anyone else. It's like, so I'm one who support that. Yeah, it was Africans who built that. The Egyptians built that civilization. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't influenced by anyone from the outside. Now, was there a cultural exchange with people from outside of Africa? Yes, but that doesn't negate or take away from the actual accomplishments and achievements of these African civilizations.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right, my two
Um,
mafia. So you know you you on that, right? See, I would that Diddy almost bears our name. The only thing is a I added to the end of Naga, and Naga is something that we found across cultures, not only within Africa, also outside of it. It's something that could be found in Australia, the Polynesian Islands. You can find this in Native American cultures. You can find it in Asian cultures. You can find it across China. And in our initial stages as a family, we actually had a Cambodian brother in Naga. You know what I'm saying? It's like he logged off of Facebook, so we kind of lost contact with him. But yeah, we had Asians in Naga. Even today, we have a Naga that is half African, half Japanese. You know what I'm saying? It's like it transcends cultures, it transcends borders, and it transcends what we see today as color, skin tone. We're not really looking at that, but we are pushing an African doctrine because for the most part, the Africans are the ones who've been ignored, the ones who've been suppressed. So we're trying to raise that to the forefront and get it out there, man, because it's all of our home, it's all of our birthplace. Life originated inside of Africa. So why would we suppress our mamas, our daddies, our fathers and grandfathers? I don't get that.
hey, from from my understanding, and if my internet is a little choppy, I'm sorry about that. It never rains in Houston, Texas, except every other day. But from what I'm saying, the outside looking in, it looked like um we it looked like our brother you would think you would think that our peers and brothers in Africa is going to this boarding school and then going off to college in France or Europe to get their education. Um, and you find out that Ghana got universities and Kenya got universities and Ivory Coast got universities. You find out these things, and it kind of make you want to dig more into what their curriculum is, what they actually teaching. And I got this video by Theophilo Banger that we gonna play. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Do you when you think of um Ghanaian education or Nigerian education, you think that these guys are going to college in Africa, or you think that they're taught to go abroad, go further, and go outside of Africa for university?
Well, I think they're going abroad because of the suppression. You know what I'm saying? Because Africa is being suppressed, and they go to college abroad because they'll do their internship in these other nations and find employment in these other nations that have the currency in these other nations are worth more. So when they make their career moves in these outside nations and send their money back home to Africa, it's increased. You know what I'm saying? They're able to support their families better by going outside of Africa, and I think that's what we see going on. But I'm one that feel like that needs to change. That's why I'm all for what the brother Ibrahim Traore is doing inside of Africa. I feel like more African nations need to follow his lead. You know what I'm saying? And then they could change that. That paradigm will be changed. They would no longer have to leave outside of Africa and gain employment in the fields that they're going to school for, because the world needs Africa, but Africa don't need the world.
All right, so I want you to break down this video with me, and anytime you want me to stop it, just tell me to stop it. Right?
All right, cool.
A lot of inventions from Africa. It is impossible ever generously help the development of Black Africa. Never impossible. They haven't done it for 6 centuries. They won't do it for 50 years. They never will. They do. They sell weapons today. Is that what ends in Europe? They will never be able to help. It is a huge mistake to believe that Europe, France, the United States, these slave countries are going to help Africa. It is impossible, impossible. They will never, never, ever generously help the development of Black Africa. Never possible. They won't do it for 50 years. They never will. They do. They sell weapons today. Is that what tends us towards change?
Is it choppy?
Yeah, it's a little choppy, but he opened up with a powerful statement, and
Go ahead. Go ahead. Build
they
on that.
they aren't they aren't going to help develop Africa, because to develop Africa is to empower Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's like these European nations, ever since the Berlin Conference and when they divided Africa up into all these different imaginary borders, they've been taken from Africa. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they built their nations up. It's like we wouldn't be a nuclear power if they didn't take all of the uranium from Africa. You know, coltan from Africa. It's like the gold from Africa. They're taking the resources from Africa and empowering their own nations, and leaving the Africans basically to fight over crumbs. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that us as a people we need to change, because they divide Africa up in these little tiny nations and make each African nation compete against big old China, the big old United States of America, you know what I'm saying, on the world stage. When if they were unified together as one African nation, then it'll be the other way around. They will have the power. They would, the power dynamic instantly flip. The moment they unify the nations of Africa and take control of their own resources, then the rest of the world going to have to bow down to the foot of the Africans instead of the other way around.
All right, I'm gonna play a little bit more and let you keep building on it. All right.
Right.
That shit a little choppy, man. Sorry about that.
Even the children in attendance sell guns. It's not me who says so. It's the press. Even Dimitri's son sold the weapons in Angola. So he was not told at the time. You think that's the change? Well, we take the diamond, what's happening in Zaire, or all the tools or everything that's fighting her. We are looking for diamonds. We are looking for oil in Congo. We're looking at everything. Do you think this trend will? But when we take uranium from you in Nigeria, it's over. We say bye-bye. Yeah, that's not going to change. We must not believe that Europe is not racism, man. It is the real truth. They say, I would have been a white European, that I would not have anything to do with Africa. Why? You have to want to ask them to do. And so the Europeans in general, that will never help at all. I see Black Africa persist, never. And it is an illusion of Africans who believe that these people in Europe will help them. It's impossible. It's not even in the philosophy of the vision. They don't even think about it as part of the works to rule the native Africans. We are the Renaissance. So,
taking all these negative parameters that you have just listed, do you think a true Renaissance of Africa is possible?
yes, in fact, it's not really negative parameters, it's real parameters.
All right, King, you heard a little bit of that, or it's choppy a little bit? You heard a little bit?
Yeah, it was choppy, but I heard it. He touched on a lot of the same stuff I touched on. Like if you take the oil, for instance, right? This is why they took Gaddafi down. Gaddafi was trying to unify Africa and come with one African currency, the gold backed dinar. He was going to back it in gold, which Africa has more gold than the rest of the world combined, and you was going to have to buy the oil from Africa using the dinar. You know what I'm saying? So the Western powers had to stop that because he was trying to flip the power dynamic way back in 2010. It's been 15 years since, and we see how Libya has eroded. Basically, once they took him down, they was calling him an evil dictator. But his people had free health care. He was giving them grants for homes, grants for cars. You know what I'm saying? They could have went to school anywhere in the world free of charge. You know what I'm saying? On the government dollar. So was he a dictator or was he really for his people? This is what people need to understand. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just looking at what we're told, you need to dig deeper than the surface level from the stuff that the narrative that they paint to us, because they're always going to paint us a false narrative about what's actually going on in Africa, because the goal is to keep us divided. You know what I'm saying? That's why they separated Africa and all these different nations in the first place, because together we are the majority. We the world majority. We might be the minority in America, you know what I'm saying? But once you put all of the Africans and the diaspora together, then we are the world majority. And if you look at it today, even with us in America, the world, we are the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? We the drum, we the rhythm of the world. You know what I'm saying? The world is marching to the rhythm of an African drum. Uh, a lot of our influence has a further reach in the world than a lot of other nations do. You know what I'm saying? Outside of militarily, it's like the Western power came with their military, and the Africans was actually at disadvantage because of concepts like Ubuntu. You know what I'm saying? To where they treat all humans like humans. You know what I'm saying? They were welcoming, and that was taken advantage of. They exploited tribal differences. They exploited that concept of Ubuntu, them being welcome in, and took advantage of it. And it's still being done today, and it's something that we need to change.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so with the speak a little bit on the Nelson Mandela situation. How you felt about that whole ordeal?
Nelson Mandela situation, man. I feel like that should have never happened. There's no way a minority group like the Boers, the Dutch, should have been oppressing the majority. And see, it goes back to again the concept of Ubuntu, us humanizing all humans, regardless of your background, regardless of how you look. You know what I'm saying? But it's like me personally, I feel like they should have went Shaka Zulu on the board long time ago, and then we would never saw all of those years of apartheid. And by Africa being separated, they really didn't have no help outside of South Africa to end that. You know what I'm saying? And outside of us in America, we were the ones that were fighting to have apartheid in because we knew what it was like. Our people went through the same suffering and the struggle in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And right now you got a battle going on between South Africa and us in America behind the Zulu parade in New Orleans. And I've been trying to be like a go between the two, being from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was really never meant to disrespect, and we the people of New Orleans actually invited Zulu tribesmen to New Orleans to participate in the parade. I was there in 2006 when there were actual Zulu tribesmen participating in the parade. You know what I'm saying? But long as they keep us against each other and keep us fighting, keep the South Africans fighting the Nigerians. You know what I'm saying? The Nigerians fighting against the East Africans and vice versa. Then we're going to continue to have these problems. It's like we need to forget about the differences. Now I know it's tribal differences from tribe to tribe in Africa. We need to not focus on what the differences are. We need to focus on what we have in common and rally around that. You know what I'm saying? And deal with family problems internally instead of broadcasting them outside to the world, because the world would take advantage of that to keep us separated. And long as we're separated, things like what happened with Nelson Mandela in South Africa during apartheid will continue to happen.
All right. About to break down a little bit more of the video, and I'm gonna get your opinion. All right.
All right.
These people, Europe will help them. It's impossible. It's not even in their philosophy or their vision. They don't even think about it apart from good words to fool the naive Africans who believe in it. We are the Renaissance. That's all. If we
Taking all these negative parameters that you have just listed, do you think a true renaissance of Africa is possible?
Yes, in fact, it's not really negative parameters. It's real parameters. That is the reality today. Now, what is Africa? You see, today Americans believe that Africa, forest, equatorial Africa, this Africa will be the lungs of humanity tomorrow because of pollution everywhere. So the African rainforest is going to save humanity again. And the Americans want to invest a lot of money to take these forests, etc., etc. This is why Africa is rich. The diamond of the world, the emeralds, all these things, the uranium, all that. The African continent is the world's reserve of gold, oil, whatever you want. Angola, we fight in Angola, not for nothing. It's Kuwait, in the separate Congo. In Gabon, it's the same there. The Nigeria, it's oil. In the Sahara, the desert, there's no oil. We have oil everywhere. You see, we have diamond mines. We are a supplier of these goods. Well, not to mention that we have savannas, we have Sahels, we have forests, we have pastures, and we have immense, powerful rivers, the most powerful in the world. And we can make barrages, which has a single dam to electrify all of Black Africa, Dinga dams in Zaire. And we have dams, possibilities to have electricity. It's almost free and everywhere. And it's solar energy. Let's not talk about it. Where is the sun? If we are here, it is a natural cause, and the sun cannot be missing in this explanation. So we are the sons of the sun. The sun is there. We are the sons and daughters of the sun. The sun is there with us. We have immense lakes. We have fish, freshwater fish, sea fish.
We are the sons of the sun. It's
Come
like,
on, King. Come on.
and that's a theme that you see spread across Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at Nigeria and the Igbo people, that they have the saying that we are the children of the sun. If you look at the Biafran flag, it has the sun emblazoned on it with the colors made famous by the other great brother that was in that video, Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? The Pan African flag. And what other continent does the sun shine on more than Africa? So yeah, they do need to invest in solar technology, solar panels, you know what I'm saying? Because they can harvest this energy. And that kind of goes back to what Naga is pushing. God is light, light is electromagnetism and the fullness thereof. And we not trying to push to the people this Abrahamic idea of what a God is. We telling you're God. You know what I'm saying? You're connected to God. You know what I'm saying? Inherently. That sun that you see in the sky, that's an aspect of God. But we're not saying that the sun itself is God, but it is an aspect of the electromagnetic force. It's an aspect of the electromagnetic spectrum. And the electromagnetic spectrum permeates the universe, and we are inherently connected to the universe through electromagnetism. You know what I'm saying? Our thoughts are electromagnetic. Our heart is electromagnetic. Our lungs go through electron transfer chain. This is how we breathe. So we do need to invest in these type of technologies because we are the children of the sun, and we can harness the power from the sun to revolutionize not only Africa but us in the diaspora as well. This is we are pushing this to awaken something in our people mind to get them to study physics. You know what I'm saying? Because you can make free energy devices in your own home. All you need is some magnets, some wire, and a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? And you can have lights for free without paying these huge corporations all of these millions of dollars that they're being paid. It's like one. It was a power struggle in America between two white scientists. You know what I'm saying? They suppressed one, which was Nikola Tesla, and they ran with the other one. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think it was Bell, I think. But if Tesla would have came out victorious, then the world would be a better place. We would have had free energy, clean energy. We wouldn't have had to rely on oil. You know what I'm saying? For one, and Africa has the power to do this. That's like we don't even hear what Akon was trying to do years ago. And I think about 4 or 5 years ago, he was trying to build solar fields in Africa so he could bring power to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because they could actually produce and harness and produce more solar energy than anybody else because they're right on the equator. You know what I'm saying? And something else I found out is like Africa is the only continent that sits in all four hemispheres. It sits in the west, it sits in the east, it sits in the north, and is in the south, divided by the equator and other latitude and longitudinal lines. You know what I'm saying? Will be in the west, east, north, and south. So they could actually take advantage of their orientation on the planet to produce more free energy than anybody else.
Already. So I seen what he was talking about. He said we could build dams and have free electricity. I seen where he was going in on that, man. He was on his visionary tip. Let's keep going.
Right.
Even the great white shark, he is still with us everywhere. We have Atlantic oceans, we have a good part of the ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, the Indian Ocean, even if there are atomic subtides, etc. In these seas, there are swamps, atomic swamps, foreign countries, etc. Well, we have oceans, we have rivers, we have lakes, we have forests, we have mines. We have a large population that we despised for a long time, but which is life there, which is creative, which today gives humanity a taste for life. It is the music of Black American hip hop, which makes the youth of the world vibrate today. What music, what dance. It is the youth of the whole world, from China, from Kamchatka to Brazil. What is the music that makes people live, dance, gesticulate, give hope to the youth of the whole world? Today, it's what music to remove all Black people from LA at your European or African games or at the Olympic Games. That's you. The games become absolutely internal and insignificant. There are more beautiful runners, there are more beautiful marathons, there are more beautiful throwers to say there are more beautiful high jumps. Whether it's Britain that wins, it's a Black man. Whether it's France that wins, it's a Black man. Whether it's the United States that wins, it's a Black man. Even skating. But basketball is the them. It's the they. They are even. They are super champions, It's the Jordans. It's the Neil checked O'Neal. It's the Kobe brand. It's the super.
He right, you know what I'm saying? And it's like outside of the material resources, we are also another resource that was taken from Africa that the world uses to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? Even outside of the sports and the music, you know what I'm saying? If you look to America, if you take away all of the inventions by Black African American inventors, then what is America today? It's a third world country. You know what I'm saying? It, so the world benefits from African resources, whether it be us as people or the material resources. And when I say Africa needs to pool their resources, I'm also talking about us, the people. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother King Hercules said, yeah, without the sun, we all die. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I get why our ancestors gave reverence to the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that they were worshiping the sun, but they knew the importance of the sun in their everyday lives. You know what I'm saying? They knew it sustained them. The plants grow up out the ground and reach to the sun. You know what I'm saying? Without it, we all die. So they knew this. They were aware of this thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? And this was long before Europe progressed anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Greeks and the Romans had to come into Africa to learn from the Africans. They've been on the planet longer than anyone else. And they developed technology, sciences, astrology, mathematics before anyone else. It's like I was having a discussion the other day, you know what I'm saying, when they was talking about the sciences. I was like, well, look at something like astrology, you know what I'm saying? You have Adam's calendar in South Africa. The floor on the dating is 75,000 years ago, which shows that Africans were aware of astronomy before the migration out of Africa 70,000 years ago. They were already aware of these sciences, you know what I'm saying? Naga up.
Man, he said even if France win, it's a Black man. Even if Great Britain win, it's a Black man. And you think about Giannis Antetokounmpo, you
Right.
think about the Greek Freak. You think about Andrew Wiggins from Canada. You think about I think Andrew Fred Van Vliet. I think he rock with Germany or some Shea Gilgis Alexander. He on Germany team or somewhere over there. It's like I mean Shea Gilgis Alexander with Canada, I think. But it's you look at all of our
Victor
superstars,
Wembanyama, Wemby. Look at him. There go another
Wimby,
one.
Wimby, and Bio. It's like you look at our superstars, and no matter where they from, they black. You know what I'm saying? And we supposed to believe, you know what I'm saying, that that our people wasn't, you know what I'm saying, a lot of places at certain amounts of time. It just came when slavery happened.
Right, and I try to get our people to think beyond that because they try to teach history as if our history begins with slavery. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have more history before slavery than we do after it. And that's saying a lot because of all of the history that we've made and all of the inventions that have been made during slavery and since. It's like our history goes far beyond that. It's like I was on the phone with some South African brothers. You know, like I said, it's the diaspora war going on between South Africa and African Americans over the Zulu parade in New Orleans. But I was being a go between with them, and I heard these South African Zulu brothers, I'm a Zulu, say the same thing Naga been saying to people that people say is pseudo. These brothers say we are Nubians who migrated from the Nile Valley into South Africa, and you can't learn our history from a book. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually go to the tribesmen and learn the history as they're taught from their elders. Our people are oral tradition based people. You know what I'm saying? And these brothers were saying, yeah, y'all people migrated into West Africa. We migrated into South Africa, but we are the same people. We are all Nubians. We are Nubian Kushites. This is what the Amazulu brothers are saying about them, their own selves. But somebody outside of them will lay up there and tell them they're pseudo for telling their own story. And if you reflect back to that debate I had, the genetics bear that out. The genetics bear out these migrations that these brothers are speaking of, coming from North Africa through the Nile Valley down below the equator into South Africa.
Yeah, what up? Peace of the guy, y'all. It's Andrew Kakarakt. You know what I'm saying? Better known as Laurel Burns, Naga World Water Representative. You know how we get down. But yeah, I had the same experience dealing with a lot of continental Africans. I deal with a lot of West Africans, Central Africans, and they didn't told me the same thing that they told Ruben. And we not talking to the same people at all. We're not talking to the same people, and they got the same story. They say that they are Nubians, Kushites who have migrated to the West during the 18th dynasty, during the reign of Akhenaten. Like that. That's literally just the oral story that they give. That they left the Nile Valley during the 18th dynasty because the coming of Akhenaten was an omen. It was a prophecy. It was an omen. And when he reared his head and started doing the backstabbing shit he was doing, you know what I'm saying? That prompted the ancestors to start breaking up the mystery schools and spreading the information all around because Akhenaten basically marks the beginning of the white man's incursion on us, like on a military, like on a straight up militaristic basis. You see what I'm saying? Like at first it wasn't like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't really realize that like nobody cared about what color you was back in the day. Back in ancient time, nobody cared about what color you were. They cared about what tribe you was part of, who accepted you as their people. That's what they cared about. You see what I'm saying? And our people, we didn't just lost sight of that. You know what I'm saying? And we just been so far removed from ancient traditions, tribal traditions, traditional rulership. We've been separated for it so long that it's almost like we repel it. See, we call each other kings and queens and things of that nature, but we don't respect the institution of royalty. You know what I'm saying? We don't really respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you did, you wouldn't run around and do the things that you do to your brothers. If you respect kingship, if you respect family, if you respect life, you wouldn't do certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that like make you You know what I'm saying? Part of this whole Nubian Kushite deal is the fact that you honor your ancestors and you follow the same social norms and traditions as all of the other Nubian communities around the world, like the community in Bambo, Uganda, for example. Bambo, Uganda is full of Nubians, full of black Nubians. They're not the Egyptian Arab looking people that you used to. They look like us. They look like us, bro. So I'm just saying, I got the same testimony, bro. So you know,
Right, because you being from Ghana, ancestrally a Ghanaian, goddamn me, your patriarch. What's the name of your patriarch? I mean,
Aya Kush or
right,
Aya Kushi. That's literally
King
like his name
Ayakushi. Is
from
this a
our oral
coincidence that we
tradition.
have a West African king named King Ayakushi? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you can go look him up.
Yeah, you can actually go look that up.
AYI Kushi. Go look it up. Aya Kush. He was one of the elders. He was the one who formed the Gadamis part of the Gadamis seven commandments. And I mean, like some of the Gadamis claim to be Hebrews. And this is the reason why we keep saying, like, you ain't got to sit here and cosplay and act like Jews when you got real people who do real shit, and you could just be them. That's who you are. That's from your bloodline. You ain't got to be
Right,
a Jew. You ain't got to
right.
be no Jew. You
Like
could
I
be
got them pulled
Ghanaian.
up.
You could be Yoruba. You could be a Khan. You could be
Right,
any one of those groups because all of them share affinities with those people that you call Jews or Hebrews. They
right.
share affinities with them for whatever reasons they do. But you know,
All right, let's get back to this video.
all right, man, let's get that.
The super, what we call super music, let's not talk about it. It's creativity permanently, eh? And the beauty of the female body. This beauty cannot be very knowledgeable because they do racism. That's all. Otherwise, all the misses would even be from the third monte. It would be Indians or Africans. They delete it, but when they give from time to time, they are sometimes obliged, but otherwise they, that is to say, creativity. Those who invented jazz, music. So you see, you have something to do for your safety. We must make Africa, because Africa will be the security of blacks in Europe, the security of blacks in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, the security of blacks in the Americas, because they will have at least somewhere. And we Africans who live there must also change. This Africa does not belong to the Cameroonians. To the Senegalese who live there, it belongs to all black people. They must have passports. They must have the price for free wherever they want to go. But Steve Wonder, he's in Ghana. He lives in Ghana. He goes to the United States from time to time to sing. He made a choice. He is at home. He has no more or less rights than the archers who have lived there for centuries. He has the same rights, exactly the same properties. He buys his essay, his land, he builds his house. He does what he wants like anyone else. He is an American citizen. Well, he goes there, but he comes back. There is no visa for him. He goes back home to Ghana. He has the Ghanaian passport. That's how we have to do it. Because people, blacks too are rich in the United States. Blacks too are rich. In Africa, there is money, there are billionaires, but all this, in fact, we lack nothing. Intelligence is not lacking. Raw materials are not lacking. Creativity is not lacking, eh? It is often vision, having a vision anyway.
All right, I'll stop right there and let y'all brothers build on that. Or if y'all want me to keep going, I'll keep going.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of the ideology that you find coming from Africa right now is saying, is mirroring what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to open Africa up, so they don't need a passport or a visa to go from nation to nation. And they're also extending that to the diaspora, you know what I'm saying? and trying to open it up to, well, we won't need a visa to travel in Africa and go from nation to nation in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of what keeps Africa separated and divided. It, they shouldn't need a passport to go from Niger to Nigeria when they're right next door. I mean, you have tribes that extend across these borders. See, these borders are imaginary. These borders are drawn by Europeans, and that's part of the separation that keeps Africa divided. That does need to change. We do need to have free reign across that continent.
No, I agree 100%. And this ain't the first time that this has been on the table with Africa, dealing with the African Union, various other NGO organizations that have been trying to do this same thing for a few decades. And like any other place, like they come into hiccups and bumping heads with certain people who want to keep the same status quo going because they're getting rich off of the white man. You know what I'm saying? While starving the people. So this, I think it's a really good thing, and we need to really seriously be thinking about that. Like, we've been throwing around the idea in Naga as far as actually buying some land over in Africa and establishing a business or something over there, just to have foreign income, have a foreign income. You know what I'm saying? And we building up a or a portfolio over there as well. Like, that shit's on the table. We need free reign. I mean, and I'm not even gonna speak for everybody else in diaspora, but I'm just speaking about us African Americans right here in North America specifically. We've been so cut off from our ancestors that we actually need that. People from the Caribbean, people from South Africa, that the African culture is still really ingrained in everything that they do. Us here in the States, not so much. You know what I'm saying? So we really do need that open border policy when it comes to Africa, just so we can reconnect, because we got so many blood affinities with so many different tribes. It's not like we belong to just one tribe. You know what I'm saying? We belong to several, and we should have free reign to come and go. So I agree with dude. What you think, Doc?
It might not be there, but one of the
you-
most powerful things I heard these African Amazulu brothers say in that conversation I was having with them, because we had some Black Americans from here saying that we not from Africa, we indigenous to America. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't disagree with that. But to hear the African brothers tell them, we don't care where you from, whether you South African, West African, East African, or Native American, you are a Nubian. That was powerful to me, because that's something else that we've been on in Naga. You know what I'm saying? We don't too much discuss it outside of Naga, but we've absolutely discussed it in Naga, because we have brothers that are in Naga that are part of the Yamasee tribe, the Yamasee. You know what I'm saying? Complete with tribal marks and everything. So people try to call them pseudo when they say that, but I don't necessarily think that they're pseudo. You know what I'm saying? Is the Africans know that their people was migrating outside of Africa for millennia. They know this. And until their story and their history is brought to the forefront, then we will continue to fight these things. We'll continue to call these things pseudo when it's not necessarily that it's pseudo, it's just suppressed history. They don't want, I mean, we've been taught that the Europeans were the first navigators. The Europeans were the first to put a boat in the water and sail across the Atlantic Ocean. But when you go to a lot of these African nations, they're telling a whole different version of history. And who are us?
You ain't even got to go to the
pseudo.
Africans. You ain't even got to go to the Africans. You can go to the Arab ones. You can go to the Arab countries,
right,
and talk to their scholars and they scholars will tell you about Africans in the West. And this is one of the things, like when they had those debates, it always strike me like, damn, why haven't not one of these people ever used any of the Arabic sources? Hell, the white man learned everything he got from the damn Arabs. Science, math, all that shit he learned from the Arabs. And the Arab is telling you that the black man was over in the West before the white man. So I mean,
not to mention, you could go to some of these tribes on the East Coast, like the Cherahantanawe tribe, and they'll tell you, we took the Africans that was running, escaping slavery in because we was familiar with them. We looked at them as if they were our brothers. It was the white man who was new to us. You know what I'm saying? What do they mean by that? If the African wasn't already in contact with these people or had some type of trade relations with these people. You know what I'm saying? They say they were familiar with the Africans. That's why they took them into their tribe. And history in America bears that out. There's many Native American tribes along the eastern seaboard that when the slaves escaped those plantations, took those slaves in. And, I use slaves for lack of a better term. I like to call them prisoners of war because that's basically what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro, because if you go study some of those Indian War, Seminole Indian War type shit, French and Indian War, man, go read the battle reports. If you read the reports, the shit straight tell you that like this is a Negro war. They literally are saying this is a Negro war. Like, no, those Indians are being led by niggas, and niggas is leading them, and niggas is choreographing all of that shit. And like what people don't understand is you couldn't just come into a tribe and then just assume a leadership role. To be a war chief, to be a war chief, I mean, you have to prove yourself in battle. Like they just not gonna give just anybody a war bonnet, nigga, and be like, go out here and do your thing. Like you got to be battle hardened, battle tested. You understand what I'm saying? So for those Native Americans or those Africans, Native Africans, African, I don't know like what term you want to use, but for some reason when they went into those tribes, they end up becoming the chiefs, the war chiefs, and things of that nature. So I don't know. Like, go do your research. Go look up the Fort. What is it called? Fort Negro.
Yeah, Fort Negro. And you can pull up General Jessup's testimony of, I think it's like the War 1812. General Jessup said, "We are fighting Indians and Indian Negroes and Negroes off the plantation."
Right, and like people, when people hear that, you got to understand. Like, clearly, he knew the difference. Like, for him to say we're fighting Indians and Indian Negroes, that means that he's recognizing black, indigenous, autochthonous niggas here on this landmass, and then he said niggas from the motherfucking plantation. He clearly saw a distinction between them. So I mean, we could keep calling them elbow niggas pseudo, but it's documented. I'm one of those people too. I don't buy into the whole elbow thing because I think our people are indigenous worldwide. Like there's no place we can go where we're not naturally indigenous. Like we come from Earth. Like this our shit. So there's no inch to this motherfucker where we're not indigenous, nigga. We're always
NWO. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's Naga World Order. It's not Naga Africa Order, not Naga American Order. It's Naga World Order. Because it's like if you go to a lot of these, even the African tribes, it's like Onif Ife, who is a Yoruba chief, got on the media on TV and said our people come from the tropical regions of the earth. He didn't say we come from Africa. He said we come from the tropical regions of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And people will sit there and call him pseudo. And this is a Yoruba chief giving you what he's been passed down from his elders and from his ancestors. So who are we to call him pseudo telling his own story?
Yeah, they throw that pseudo shit around like it's hotcakes, like pseudo this, pseudo that, and it's just like, do you understand pseudo in a lot of terms just mean that it is not the mainstream narrative. Don't mean it's fake. Don't mean it's not real. Don't mean that they lying. It means that it's not the mainstream narrative. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not the type of person to just run with the mainstream narrative. If you're running with the mainstream narrative on anything right now, as much shit as you've been shown, and I mean, since social media then came out, as much shit as you've been shown, you shouldn't be buying nothing at fucking face value. Nothing. Especially when it comes to this. Hey, roll that bean footage, Wavy Cuz.
Bet.
Man, we can't hear it.
Nah, I can't hear it.
We can't hear it, cuz.
I'm over here trying to get this shit together, but I keep hearing the echo. Like it's lagging.
Yeah. And like the brother King Hercules said, too many of our people keep calling our elder pseudo because white people say they are pseudo. But that's the
Hey,
thing. It's
hey,
not
can
even
y'all
all.
hear it or not?
Nah, we couldn't hear it.
Oh,
Not all white people are calling the elder pseudo. It's like it's white people that are saying a lot of the same things that Renuka Rashida and Ivan Van Sertima are saying. It's like Albert Wiener or something like that from America. He was saying the same thing Ivan Van Sertima saying. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of scholars that said that. Like Jane Elliott, she holds the same belief. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily a white thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a Eurocentric thing. Anybody pushing Eurocentrism will call the elder pseudo, but the Eurocentrism, as it pertains to African cultures, history, and languages, would be the real pseudo stuff because it originates from outside of Africa.
all right. I'm press this play button. My bad. I had the mic muted.
To do
Oh,
with the
that's
Russians.
why.
We are going to be with them.
Y'all can
We
hear
are
me?
going to work with the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moreover, Europe, they are all going to unite. One day it will be from the Atlantic to the Urals. One day, and then one day they can also have the United States and the other side of the Atlantic with Europe. Well, what are we going to do? There are small prices there. What are they going to do? There is even geopolitics. You have to know how to read geostrategy. Geopolitics today, Europe, you see them, but it is the most. But making Europe is even a nightmare. They have been fighting for centuries. Only recently, we are coming out of the First, Second World War. They don't like each other. The French don't like the English. The English don't like the French. The French don't like the Germans. Even today, they don't like it. When you have the Siflista in Italy, as they say the French evil. And when you have syphilis in France there, and venereal disease, as they say, it's the Italian disease, you see, it's nice. But they overcome their disagreements, their hearts, their problems. They say, if we don't do that, and in front of the power of the dollar, we are lost, we won't be able to develop. Today, the euro beats the dollar or is equivalent, you see. So what? And that means that the Americans, they no longer only have this monopoly, they sell almost at a loss, or they buy at a loss. And things like that, that's the development everyone does. They are all relatives or cousins. They come from here, these white Americans, they are all cousins or relatives, but they do for them. They live there, they do for them. The Chinese do for them, Africans. So when we make Africa for us, huh? But we will also do at the same time for humanity. We will give them what we can give, contribute as much as we can give, but at least we must. But what also prevents us in all these things is the discourse held by colonizing Europe, slavery for several centuries. It's a screed over our heads. You see the speech. What we call the Eurocentric and race.
A lot to
Bro,
unpack. It's a lot to unpack right there. Y'all want to break that down?
I mean, I'm gonna say something that is not conventionally acceptable amongst us. Okay, I don't necessarily believe in integration, but I most definitely believe in separation. And those white nationalist organizations been saying that shit for motherfucking 100 years. Take your black ass back to Africa, and I'm gonna have to agree with them. Take your black ass back to Africa. Take your white ass back to Europe. Take your yellow ass back to Asia. Everybody go back to their corners. Dust themselves off. Present yourself, and let's come back to the table. Like we're in modern time now, and I just think that's what it should be, man. That's what it should be. Like, do y'all know how many motherfucking Africans leave Africa, go get degrees, doctors, scientists, physicists? I'm talking about high level, prestigious motherfuckers, and everything that they do helps out Europe. They won't even go take that same shit back to their own country, bro, and help out their own people. And that's why a lot of times you got to watch out for a lot of the continental Africans that's on this side over here with us, because from what I'm told by those revolutionary continental Africans, they saying that the black Africans that come over here from Africa are the Uncle Toms running from them. They say that's the reason why they leaving, because they running from niggas. They own the same shit we own. They own the same shit we own, like as far as like this cultural revolution, knowledge, you know what I'm saying, and kicking the white man out, like they own the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And those who don't want to be down with that shit, they run to America and try to live the American life, man. Shit fucked up. What you gonna build on?
Yeah, I heard that from the Amazulu brothers. They said the same thing. It's like y'all have Uncle Tom's house Negroes over there. We got them over here too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
would agree to an extent though, like, cause I think it would be, you know what I mean, some of them over there that's really trying to, I mean, the ones that come over here and send damn near everything back. You know what I mean? I get the exception to that. I mean, I want to speak to the whole of them. You know what I mean? Like that.
right,
So
that
I
because you
want y'all to keep this right in mind, right? Have you ever lived by a group of Africans, like a family of Africans? You notice how you don't even know most of their names?
Oh
You
yeah.
don't know. You don't even barely know none of them mugs by first name basis.
Yeah, no, they don't. They ain't gonna interact with you. They're gonna do everything in their power to not interact with you. And if they
And
have to interact with you,
yeah,
it's definitely
you're
a
right.
last resort thing.
they saying that's what them continental Africans saying is like, nah, they look at y'all like the white man look at you, and
No, yeah.
that's why they don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? At first I didn't think it was a real thing until I witnessed it myself. Like I lived next door to some Africans for about almost 10 years, and never knew their name until one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go over here and say something. And I went over there and we became best friends. I've been kicking it. I was popping up over their house every day. You know what I'm saying? Like doing our thing and stuff, laughing, talking. But it was just weird because it was like if I didn't approach them and say nothing, we would have just sat there for another 10 years and never knew each other's name.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of them, they, you know what I mean, instead of living through who they are, they live through their passport status. You
Yeah.
feel me? And a passport status wouldn't necessarily say African or black. You know what I mean? Being though they be traveling through European countries, most of them have European um lingo on their documents. I say it that way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So and then they get the view. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, the brainwashing that go along with it. You know what I mean? So they particular view of us over here is like, know what I mean, wild crazy. Like I heard that from some of them. Like how we come over here and know what I mean, do this, that, and the third, and you motherfuckers basically been here. You feel me? Like you lazy, but that's not the case. Know what I mean? First of all, you get incentives when you come over here that people that are here. Know what I mean? It's hard to get up. Know what I mean? But there's a lot of things going with that. But I don't blame the ignorance in 2025. Know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just how some people rather be. Know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Yeah, but to continue to unpack what was really getting at, but we and like I said, I always want to bring this back to African Americans because I see African Americans as a microcosm of the greater group of what we call Black people or African people. I see us as a microcosm, so whatever the fuck's happening with us on a micro scale is happening on a macro scale type deal, right? And I believe that all the way down the line. Like when it comes to Black families or families or basically what do you call them, dysfunctional. They're dysfunctional because of all of the roles and stuff are all fucked up and shit, right? Well, that's the same thing that's wrong with our neighborhoods and our communities is the lack of leaders and all of the roles and shit are all fucked up. Kids doing grown up stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a microcosm. And then when you look at us as a people, as a greater group, we got the same issue going on. We don't there's no leadership. Nobody want to have accountability. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And then when you go on a global scale, you're looking at all of that. Look at all the other different African countries around the world and how they all function together as an organic group, as an organic unit, and you see that it's not as much as it should be. Like take South America for
I want to
example.
ask a question about that last comment. Pull that back up after you finish, bro.
All right, that take this into account. In the United States alone, it's like 40 to 60 million of us. In the Caribbeans, it's probably like another 100 million of us. In South America, it's another 200 million of us, 300 million of us. You see what I'm saying? You put all them together, bro. It's like a 500 million Africans outside of Africa, and ain't none of us doing shit together. We ain't doing nothing together. Like for all intents and purposes, Haiti should be the capital of all diaspora Africans around the world. Haiti should be the most populous, luxurious place on the planet right now. But you know what I'm saying? And like we'll be like, oh, it's France' fault. No, it's our fault as a people. We ain't all came together and fucking fix Haiti. We ain't did it. Just like we ain't did that shit with our own schools and our own communities and all. That's why I say it's a microcosm, macrocosm. As above, so below. You fucked up on the bottom level, you're gonna be fucked up on the top level. If your feet fucked up, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
I hold on real quick. Peace to Uncle Lasar, peace to Uncle Harold. Hey, thought you said you wanted to discuss this comment. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, I had a question about like what exactly is white scientific knowledge. I don't be understanding sometimes when people, cause I hear a lot like maybe that particular term means something different than a person saying white science. Know what I mean, or whatever.
I'm just saying, just go ahead and throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't
Show
understand
something.
what that mean. Like, what is white science?
All right, hold on real quick. To the video. Peace to my boy Jalen. Jalen just hit the panel. We're about to get back to the video. And whenever y'all want me to stop it, just let me know.
This is discourse, the Africanist discourse. Eh? But he described us as beings unworthy of God, unworthy of life, unworthy of humanity. We are outside of humanity, on the margins of humanity. in childishness, one does not have a rational, logical thought. We have only scavenger things, smells and sweat, smells and rots, everything that is the carry-on. This is how we have described the Venus, especially the Cuviers. What did they do with them? They did it for 10 years. And because they were sexist at the time, the Cuviers, okay, you see that we have that literature there, the nigger, the batters there, and all those things there, huh? I'm a Martinican from this literature, from Mark Pa, or I don't know these women. This literature of negritude, of the fact that you are not happy in your black skin. Dumpster skin is complicated, isn't it? We don't distance ourselves from that. I'm black, that's neither bad nor good. I'm white, that's neither bad nor good. That's a fact of nature. The problem of being proud of yourself and doing your thing. But this discourse is necessary. It's also long. It's still several centuries. So to escape it, it's complicated. This is deep alienation, dispossession. The black man is dispossessed. He does not possess himself the day the black man will come into possession of himself of all his needs. It will be a
damn what he just said was deep as a motherfucker, man. He just said the black man does not possess himself. Think about that shit on a spiritual level, nigga. You nigga, ooh, shit.
The niggas say giving themselves up to anything and everything else. That's not.
He
say
the black man is not possessing himself. I want y'all to think about demon possession. Think of that means that the spirit of the black man is not inhabiting his own body. That's what the fuck he telling you. You're not even controlling your body.
Right. We trying to be the white man.
You trying to be the cracker.
Right.
You trying to be the new cracker.
And you try to tell guys that they just
that means you are automaton. You are automaton.
Yeah, you're an avatar.
You're a
fucking android.
Would you say
you're a sellout? You're a sellout. You're not satisfied being you. You're looking for something better instead of ravishing in who you are, what you created, and starting to create something new. You're trying to be somebody else. I bet you if we look at this is one thing right here, right? Everybody has tattoos. Half of their tattoos is Asian, European. How many of y'all got some drinking tattoos? How many of y'all got some Kim tattoos? How many of y'all got some African tattoos?
Yeah, I got African tattoos. People could attest to them. Yeah. And they big.
Yeah.
Orochi.
That's what we need to see. If you're gonna do it, that's what we need to see. We need to see you fall back in love with yourself. And that's what he's telling you. You're not in love with yourself no more. You're in love with everybody else.
Oh God, and you can see it, bro. And like people don't understand this shit, bro. Black people are not violent people. We warriors, but we not violent. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? Like so when you see black men in the hood, when you see niggas in the hood wilding, they not being niggas. They're being white people. They're being low down, dirty ass crackers. That's the same way that the crackers was acting when they came over here fucking
savages.
They was acting like fucking savages, rooting, tooting, shooting, killing shit. That's what they do. Robbing motherfuckers, taking people's shit, don't have no respect for a motherfucker. That's the white man, bro.
But check this out. Right.
That's not your ancestors. That's the white man.
I like to accept first, you know what I mean, and then have other people do the same thing. In 2025, we knowing this, right? we can't keep saying and doing the same shit we've been doing for years. Know what I mean? Like we know what the issue is, we know what the problem is. Know what I mean? We need to step outside of the goofy shit. Know what I mean? And be us. Know what I mean? Be great at who we are. Know what I
Yeah,
mean? At the end of the day. And stop trying to be everything else. But know what I mean? What is at the end of the day.
like I'm talking about like to the point where like bro, we don't even possess our own culture. Like we have a culture, we just don't possess it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like this all the way around, nigga. We have land, but we don't possess the land.
Right.
Nigga, we have families, but we don't possess the families either. We got relatives, and we ain't got no goddamn families.
And see, this is part relevant to what Naga trying to do. I mean, it's not just a back chat
Back
gang
check, nigga.
and a debate thing. You feel me? Like we really trying to create things in the physical. Know what I mean, get our culture back, share our culture. Know what I mean, with our brothers and sisters, have our brothers and sisters come and be a part of the family because that's what it is. It's a family. Know what I mean? It
Yeah.
ain't
Right, right.
a goofy, know what I mean, little high school clique, know what I mean, things of that nature. We really trying to get back to nature. We trying to get back to ourselves, who we are. Know what I mean, at the end of the day. Know what
And
I mean, so
keep it a bean, right?
yeah,
I
anybody.
think,
Go ahead, bro.
go ahead, cuz.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that I really believe that like we need to bring back ritual. We need to bring back mass ritual. Like we don't do nothing all together no more as a people, bro. We need mass ritual. Like I mean, even back in the day before all this
Right. Hey,
technology,
motherfuckers.
uh,
But no, I was gonna say motherfuckers can't say that they can't commit or can't do it because I see motherfuckers every motherfucking year celebrating and taking part in some goofy
oh
shit that
God,
another motherfucker made up. So why can't you apply that same time and energy to something that pertains to you and yours? Know what I mean, in a real
not,
way.
not no authorized shit either.
Right, absolutely.
About no authorized shit. I'm talking about nigga, we go take the day.
Absolutely.
We take the day. We not asking. Nigga, don't none of you niggas show up to work. Nigga, matter of fact, we found out that you niggas went to work, we beating your ass. Nigga, you get the grade like to beat that nigga. Yeah, the next day, nigga, that's part of the ritual. The next day we beat the shit out of the niggas who took their ass to work. Cause you fucking up the ritual. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
we need mass ritual, bro. You know what I'm saying? To bring back that togetherness, that tribal like mentality. I know a lot of
And
people don't
we need people to get your minds right, because we need people to understand this, right? You have to be willing to gain, right, what you really need and be willing to lose the monetary shit. Now I mean that quote unquote make you comfortable based upon how you were dictated to live your life type shit. You gotta stop being complacent, know what I mean, in your comfort. Know what I mean, and really want change and go after change because there ain't enough to sit around and talk about it. You have to actually, you know what I mean, put in the footwork and actually go out there and in order for you to receive it, you have to go
I
get
mean,
it.
like, I want y'all to think about this, right? Half the motherfucking, I ain't gonna say half, but a large portion of the planet is ran by a group of people who still live in tents and got rugs or land on sand in the tents. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Facts.
And it's like we could do so much if we didn't let comfort be our guide and our you know what I'm saying, our motive. You know what I'm saying? See, being comfortable and complacency makes a real good slave. The fact that you are comfortable and is the reason why your ass is complacent to all of the bullshit that happened to you. That's why you know what I'm saying, I encourage motherfuckers like Trump to do their worst. Because it's only when black people get their back against the wall do they form like Voltron to actually do some shit together. So if it take a motherfucker like Trump, dumbass, to bring you stupid ass niggas under one motherfucking banner to do something for yourself, I say, let's go. Pedal to the metal. But we need something.
So
Nigga, for 100 years, our people ain't did And I ain't even talking about all the people. I'm just talking about the conscious community. Just the niggas who know. I'm just talking about the niggas who know. I ain't talking about
Okay.
the regular layman.
Uncle Assault, you was trying to say something?
Yeah, it's just a matter of putting stuff together and in order, right? So, for instance, it was just this weekend. We had. You mind if I share my screen? I'm gonna show you how we have a good opportunity, and sometimes we fail when we step in the booth to do it. So here we had a protest out here in Colorado and Aurora. The Bloods, Crips, everybody together. All these cops came to break it up. I was supposed to go. I didn't even get to go to this one. I'm usually at all of them. So the youth was doing their thing, man. Cops was not even needed. But then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna see them run up and start twerking on the damn police car. You're gonna see them start twerking on the police car. And it's not like they can do nothing about it because it's only 300 something cops per precinct. And, we be like 1,000 deep, 10,000 deep when it really be popping. You know what I'm saying? Gang wise out here, which we've organized before, we run around, we super deep. You see these kids, they on the cop car.
You say, hold on. You say that's Colorado?
Yeah, we out here in Colorado, B.
Damn, is that many black people in Colorado? God
Yeah,
damn.
we deep out here too. It ain't
Man,
like, cats just don't know. And we'll shut it down. And some of us is still powerful. I'm trying to pass it to the youth, but we could get it popping. And we got money. One of the richest black communities in the world. We got money. So, squandering opportunity. Look, the cops just backing up. Like, because if one of them died, they know something gonna
That
happen.
shit is sad, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That
And
shit is
they
sad.
choose now the rally just happened. Now they over here on the cop car twerking.
Yeah, that shit is sad, bro.
Twerking.
Like this
That
is
shit
what
funny.
it
You
is,
see what
but
I'm
this
saying?
is
So
painful. Bro. Like this shit is like
it's upsetting and there's two things that's happening here. Right now, you got the youth expressing their power, right? But they so disorganized they don't really know what to do with it. So watch
Well,
Big Sis like this, like come here, girl. That's a felony to be on the cop car. Come here. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing they can do because there's about 10 of us out here that we make a call like, yo, run down on it. And all of that over there, anything with a blinker light on it or anything, will get decimated. You know what I'm saying? So that type of power is one thing, but we don't have like grocery stores or anything like that. We don't have any economical standard that we can employ ourselves.
yeah,
We got the money to do it. We just
but bro,
don't organize it and put it together. And that's the problem.
but see, they'll let something like this go on because this ain't no threat. Like,
No, it's a threat.
that's
If
not
you
that's
if
not
you
a threat.
if you see our Capitol building, you see how downtown ended up after Elijah McClain
Yeah, but
situation.
that's carnage and mayhem. Like
If
I'm
you
saying,
No,
that's
because
not
right after that we boycotted the Target. Right after that, that police sync got like they hit it with a bomb and some other stuff.
yeah. But you know
You
what
understand
happens?
what I'm saying? And
We learned this in St. Louis. You know what happens when you destroy a police precinct?
yeah,
You know what happens?
yeah,
They build a bigger
martial
one.
law, all that. They try to
Build
build it,
they
but
build a bigger one with more cops.
no, they don't have the money to unless you fund it. And that's where other cities mess up. Like we control our vote so much, we've had black mayors out here for a while. So when you start to organize how you're voting and what you're voting for and what's going to make the bill, they don't have that much power. The problem is the organization that we need for the youth now is lacking.
but this is the thing when you dealing with, know what I mean, like, cause I mess around with that. And when you dealing with like inner city shit, know what I mean, and some like a police station, and you saying the funding, right? Them needing a particular station in a particular section trumps everything on the on the board. Know what I mean, at the time of
We
shit being
defunded the
allocated,
police
and
out
that
here.
shit
You know that? We defunded them
that's
for a
that
couple of
people
years
have to
out here.
people have
So
to stop working. People have to stop
no,
working to do
we
that.
connected with the NAACP. All that. We don't even call the cops out here. I call
Yeah,
the
but
cops
but
one time out here because they don't do anything. We police ourselves out here. They come usually afterwards after somebody white got hit.
no,
So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
when it came to us, we defunded them out here. And
That
then
that's the part that
I
I'm
think just
how you
last year they
defund the
refunded
police if
the cops.
they get funded for taxes.
Yeah, we defunded them. And it's because we put it on the
Everybody
vote,
stop
we put it
working.
on the ballot, and everybody felt the same way. It's called setting up your caucus and moving in unison. And when you do
No,
that,
but you can't
we
defund the
did it.
police
We
in a
already did it.
state
It is not you can't. We did it.
that you will
So
have to stop. Everybody
yeah.
will have to stop working.
Yeah.
Everyone will have to
So
stop.
why they still got
No, it
police
just means
departments?
that once we organized it on
I
the
deal with
bill and the
political.
ballot, you
I
don't
deal
know
with
because we
political
did it
stuff.
and you still talking about it. That's my
Yeah,
point. We
yeah.
did it.
So when you
You talking about you can't
so
do
we
it.
got
You
these,
already
You
did it.
can't defund the police like it's
I
a
mean,
tax
let's
thing.
You
let's
can. You could
entertain the
defund the
thought though.
police in your county, and that's what
What
happened
is
to the cops in
I
defunded?
Denver.
Let's entertain the thought though. What does a defunded police department look like?
When we did it out here,
Yeah, what that look like?
the only bad thing is that the mayor that we put in office, Michael Cox, who used to go to East with us, ended up letting a lot of homeless come down here. And so once he did that, we had to do we did a music video to call him out because he think he want to run up there to DC. We like, if you're doing this on our dime, when you go to DC, they're gonna have a big situation. So once it hit 56,000 views, then he wanted to call a meeting with us, Brother Jeff, and other organizers out here, the NAACP, which we're in congruence with. And then he wanted to have a meeting, and then he got it together. And then after that, the vote was not to defund the police for the next go round. But if you disrespect us, we're going to move in numbers. That's the type of organization that's necessary.
But how do you
Yeah,
defund the
what
police?
does that look like?
How what does that look?
What does a
Yeah.
defunded police department look like?
Hold up, mama. What you boy, knock it off. What you do is first you gotta get together, put it on the ballot.
Brother, what does a defunded police department?
Brother,
What is
listen,
a
I'm
defunded
telling you the details
police?
so that you know how to do it now.
No, I'm not asking
No,
how it's
I
done.
deal with politics. I actually like
I'm
deal with
asking what does that
city
look like
politics.
as
But what
far
does it
as
look like? Out here it looks
what
fine.
does it look like as far as force goes? Because when you say defund, like when you say I defunded these motherfuckers, it's like okay, well they ain't got enough money to pay for gas and cars and guns and upgrades to this, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's no money for it, so you know they back to riding horses and all type of shit like that, like you know. So I'm
Well,
trying.
they still got gas money and cars, and you still have millionaires that are white out here that are going to fund and put money up for them. They still do their
The main funding is
calling
tax
around and
paying
hold
money.
tight, hold your thought right quick. They still do their
Oh.
you know, when you call around and ask for money. So they still have that. They do that.
Hold on. So if the Fed and the state ain't funding the police, and then
That means your tax dollars stop paying for those
right, that's cool.
localities.
Now let's say for instance, Jerry Buttafuoco down the street, he's the mob boss. He got enough money. He said he'll fund the police, so now the police work for his ass.
Pretty much, they get funded by him.
Okay,
so certain things move.
Now the police is just a mercs for hire.
Not work for hire, but he becomes one of the sponsors.
He's
a sponsor.
Mercenaries.
Well, not a merc either, because if you do, like I said, if you do something, it's only about 300 of y'all in the precinct, There's only so many precincts. You don't have more cops than you have gang members at any time.
Maybe that might be kind of interesting, bro. You know, so you
At
go to
any
one of
time.
these little defunded places,
Yeah.
they work for
The,
you.
the thing is this: do you call the police in your city often? Like us, I don't call the cops. Like if it's going down, it's gonna go down. If something pops off, the Uzi pops out. If it's beef, we're gonna get down, we're gonna throw these hands and then we're gonna squash it. Right? And it's been like that for some years. So in your neighborhoods, you also have to feel comfortable with not having police. You understand? And that's not always the case, especially with black people. Some black people call them orphan. A lot of them don't, but a lot of them don't come. When I was in Harlem, in New York, they never came until it was over anyway. And if you called them, we looked at you a certain way anyway. Now I'm in Colorado, it's different. Little daddy, relax.
Let's get the cold water.
Please.
Yeah, how we as wild as New Orleans is, as wild as New Orleans is, but the way we put a stop to like police brutality and the police unaliving people unjustly, man. We fought to have laws passed to where to be NOPD, then you have to live in Orleans Parish. And if you live in Orleans Parish, that means you could be touched. So you're mindful of how you interact with the people in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Because in New Orleans, anybody could get it. No matter if you were the mayor or police, you know what I'm saying, or whoever. So
Right.
that makes them mindful of how to interact with the people, knowing that, hey, I gotta live with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So so that kind of put an end to that problem in my city.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how it is in North and shit. Like, I mean, you got some cops. The only cops that act stupid is the motherfuckers that drive motherfucking 45 minutes to get to work. Oh God, all the motherfuckers that live around the area, nigga, inside the county, nigga, like yeah, niggas will pop right up 3 o'clock in the morning, nigga, and your kid wrong waiting for you to walk in that bitch, bro. Oh God.
Newark is a wild situation, and
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
yeah.
I'm from North.
Now we used to go over to Newark often, but we would live like my grandmother was in North Camden. So we'd be in North Camden, Jersey, and you already know what that's about. We my partner that's here from Colorado became your mayor, Ryan Haygood. And that's another one that we organized, got behind them, tried to assist them, and he went over there and became the mayor in North Camden. And then he started to organize some things, and then you start to see certain changes over there. So me and where's Ryan at?
Yeah, I keep it 100. I tell people that shit too. Like at the end of the day, like I wouldn't vote nothing. I wouldn't vote nothing higher than like motherfucking councilman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the state, like, cause you could more control. You know what I mean? Like chair people and mayors and district leaders and shit like that. You feel me? Like if you could vote them in, know what I mean, motherfuckers that's really about, know what I mean, the shit that niggas be talking about, know what I mean, then the situation in the communities would be much better type shit. As long as these niggas ain't crooks. Know what I mean? But anything higher than like motherfucking like councilman, like all that senator shit like that, yeah, I leave that shit, know what I mean, for the birds, know what I mean, type shit. But I definitely like for the people like locally type shit, like definitely. Know what I mean? But still at the end of the day, like we need to motherfucking come together, know what I mean, and do our own shit. Know what I mean, at the end of the day. We need to motherfucking get our own land, fund our own communities, know what I mean, type shit. Protect ourselves, protect the people in the communities, know what I mean, from other motherfuckers. All motherfuckers, no matter who the fuck they is, they ain't a part of the community, then they op. type shit.
And
Know what I mean? But that's what we need to do more of
start
type
to
shit.
set up employment around, like get together with somebody like that has common sense, that's growing up around y'all, that looks like he might be getting into politics, and get behind that person and get the city behind that person. And you guys as a conglomerate, because you know there's plenty of cliques in Newark, you know what I'm saying? We like we'd be around Bully Wooly and them. Okay. I don't know if you know your gangsters out there, but we'd come over there from T-Neck, be around Bully Wooly and them, shoot over there to North Camden, and then shoot right back over there to North Camden and all. Hold on, y'all.
What bully you talking about? Bully
Bully
dead.
Wooly, the one that got out the thing, that used to hustle real heavy.
From where? Everybody hustle real heavy from
Newark.
Newark.
he was with Rock and O and them. I don't know if you remember.
From where?
From Newark.
From
You
where?
just asked me that. I just told
Yeah,
you
but
from
where
Newark.
in Newark? Newark big as
Yeah.
hell. I'm from North. I'm from the South Ward type shit or the East Ward type shit.
Yeah, but his
I'm from
particular
Prince Street.
facility where he was running at, I'm not sure. But we was there when he got out the thing. And he was over there with my man Frank. Like, Frank, I never tried to kill you. I never tried to kill you. You know that, right? Frank, like, thank you very much. Bully Wooly was out there like that. So if you, like I said, if you know your gangsters out there, you will know Bully Wooly.
No, I'm telling you, I try to figure out what, because the only nigga that I know named Bully that was big, I mean, like that, he dead.
They might have killed him when he got out, but he wasn't dead when we was out there.
How long ago was that?
When the last time I seen Bully Wooly was 98. I was just in Brooklyn.
Bro, that nigga dead, bro. You talking about the nigga from North?
Yeah.
Off of Broadway over there where all the poppies and shit at?
The crazy one?
But over there where all the Spanish people at?
Yeah, he was over there too. Yup, he was over there. Yeah.
Yeah, we talking about the we
same
talking
Bully
about the
Wooly.
same
All right, so yeah, you know Bully Wooly. Yeah, Bully Wooly was wild. So he got out. We got his when he came out. We because you greet when they come out of there. So we showing them love, and they we all bought them bottles. Packed.
Yeah, that's what niggas need to do now though. Like motherfuckers need to come together.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like at the end of the day, before they brotherhoods, always make alliances, always people with like bars come together with other groups of people, know what I mean, that's trying to do the same things, you feel me, at the end of the day. Know what I mean? Like that's what Naga trying to do at the end of the day, you feel me? Like we trying to like really get shit started, know what I mean? Do a couple ventures and shit, know what I mean, make things happen. Now, I mean, not just for us, but I mean, for people around us, the community, things of that nature, create jobs for people. Know what I mean, stuff like that.
Get your political plug.
Yeah, on the real. Cause
Get
like we represent from.
No, we got a political branch of Nagas called niggas.
See, that ain't gonna work now. You got the.
No, is what we not going to do, right? Is tell people that their approach isn't going to work, especially if you haven't heard the information that we're pushing through that approach. Don't judge the name off of you hear the shock value, because that might be the reason why we chose it at the end of the day. I mean,
It absolutely is. Never ignorant at getting goals accomplished society. Niggas.
That's Tupac. But here go your mayor right here.
Yeah, that's what it is, Tupac here.
Here go your mayor right here.
Yeah, we use Tupacian philosophy when it comes to politics. It's all about my niggas, fuck your niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know, real Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be a made nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That head nigga in charge. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Like it's real Tupacian politics. If y'all know, Tupac wasn't no
It's your mayor Ryan Haygood right here. This my brother from way back. But before he went out there, we made sure to gather around, like, look, let's make sure this is right, do this like this, do this like this. And he was the mayor in North Camden. No
You
problem.
you like this nigga named Donnie.
Yeah, that's Ryan. Hey, good.
That's you right? No, that's you, the
Yeah,
dark
that's
skinned
me
dude
right
though.
there looking scruffy.
Niggas call you Donnie?
They call me Bumpy. Bumpy Johnson.
Nah,
And Bumpy Chill.
nah,
That's me.
nah.
That's me
All
right
right,
there
all right.
too.
Hey, we about to get back to the video real quick.
Yeah, we
But
About to get back
that's
to
how
the
you
video.
do it.
Yeah, let that master teacher roll. You know what I'm saying? Because
We about to,
DFI
hey,
old banger ain't suitable by no stretch of the
hey,
imagination.
hey,
Ever.
Uncle Smoke, we about to get back to OG O'Banger real quick.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Genius when he comes into possession of his means, as to run the blood, the 100 nanos meter. You see well that he is a genius, right? When he takes possession of himself to do boxing, to see that he is a genius, not when he takes possession of himself to make music, the zooks in your house or the casas, or that they are geniuses, no. When the king regains possession of himself, he is creative, but it is when he deflects that he does nothing at all, that he imitates, and that he becomes a more or less educated monkey. You see? And that's the misfortune. But when he is in possession of himself, failure, Anta Diop, was in possession of himself. This is why he broke with the Africanist discourse. He broke up a 23-year-old boy. Coming from an illiterate family, doesn't know how to write French or anything like that. He comes to France, he reads the bouquets, he doesn't find himself, it's alienation. And when everyone sang about existence, it's Jean-Paul's Ali or Albert Camus or Singo's Negritude, educated by supposedly the Leo Frobenius with friends everywhere in the universe. He said, no, we can't do it like that. He said, no. It is the falsification of history. We cannot see in the falsification. He broke, we who come, yes, dear, we do not agree. The scientists are not, but what scientists? Scholars disagree with Anta Diop. Specialists, which specialists? There was the clash in Cairo. In the end, we did not read the Cairo thing. There were the Cairo spoke, no Czech was not, but as Chirk won in Cairo. He is now an Afrocentrist. And what does that mean? It says that he is recentering against us, and we are also doing reverse racism against Europeans. But we people who love men the most on earth are black people. We love whites, we love yellows, we love everyone, we love too much. Yes, and we love ourselves very little, but we love everyone else. We give them hospitality, we give them everything they want.
So to somewhat summarize what you are saying, if we want the black man to be able to take up his own position, he must go through his own knowledge of his history.
So exactly. He must recover his memory in what is everywhere understood as the duty of memory, the LE, the duty of memory. But you have to have memory with that. It's like, look, you can't ask me to tell you the name of your father, your mother, your grandparents. You have to tell me. But in our case, you ask another who is not from your family to tell you your memory, your ancestors, your history, your existential and existential biography. That's our.
Oh,
That's why.
Boy, I dropped that DMG just now.
hey, go Indy right here with Zawi Hawass. This who
Right.
they think built the pyramids, man. This nigga would have skin cancer by the age of 15.
Hey, bro,
Hey,
they
Hey,
need the
he a
motherfucking
straight
get rid
up
of that.
gatekeeper, man.
Yeah, they need to
hey,
get
hey,
rid of him,
that was
bro.
Oh,
powerful.
they
Hey,
Yeah.
did.
let
They
me say
did, but
this.
they put
Hey,
another
that was
gatekeeper
powerful.
in
Let me
place.
say this.
Nah, bro, he ain't
DMG.
motherfucking
Let me
stepped
say
down.
this.
He
Hold
still
up.
got his
Everybody relax.
position.
Uncle DMG. Hold up. Everybody relax. Uncle DMG. Clip that part. He said existential, Uncle DMG. All right, y'all go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I do not like this nigga.
Yeah, I caught that too. Wave it. He dropped that DMG on him. You know what I'm saying? But I stated what he said in my own words before you even got to that part of the video. You know what I'm saying? Because we are learning about African history from European scholars when we should be going learning African history from the Africans. You know what I'm saying? It was Joseph Greenberg who divided the African languages up into these separate language families. But when you go look at these separate language families, you see a connection across them. You know what I'm saying? You see connection between Nilo-Saharan, Niger-Congo, Afro-Asiatic, and even going all the way back to Khoi-Khoi. You see these
Hey,
connections,
hey,
and if
King.
we not
Hey,
going to
King.
look at them at
Hey, King.
ourselves, then
Hey, King. Niggas get mad. Niggas get mad at y'all for saying Negroid. Check this out. Niggas get mad at y'all for saying Negroid, but these niggas be saying Semitic and Shemitic and shit. Go ahead, brother.
right. And bruh, you got to think about it. See, they tell you, oh, these are outdated scientific terms, Negroid, Mongoloid, Caucasoid. But they're not telling you why it became outdated. What information came forward to make these sciences outdated was the fact that I ain't gonna say black, the Africans have the diversity that accounts for each one of these skull types inside of Africa. That's why it is outdated. That you can't use this to identify races when all of these different skull types are present inside Africa. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as they started finding Negroid skulls all over the planet, now they want to rule out this science. You know what I'm saying? Because all before they told you that Lucy was a Negro, they were still using skull morphology. You know what I'm saying? It's even still used today. It's like they want to rule it out because it's proven that our people were everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We are indigenous to the entire planet, man. And that's a whole problem. So if we're not going to go inside of Africa and learn African history as told by the Africans, we're not only doing the Africans a disservice, we're doing ourselves a disservice as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't divide their languages up into these language families.
Right. Yeah, man. But people don't even want to find out about themselves for real. You know what I mean? So to think that somebody gonna really put in the time to go figure out something that they feel as though don't even have a connection to them. I mean, at the end of the day.
Right. And it's like, I ain't gonna call the brother name, but the brother keep calling me Afrocentric and calling our view Afrocentric while pushing a Eurocentric narrative. And I asked the brother, I'm like, has Eurocentrism lied to us at any point in history? Right? He said yes and agreed that Eurocentrism has lied to us. Okay, so if it wasn't for Eurocentric scholars lying to us, would there even be a need for Afrocentrism? Would there even be a need for us to push Afrocentric narratives from that is coming from the Africans themselves? It's
Right.
like Afrocentric just means African centered. And when we talking about African history, how is that not African centered? I don't get it.
Yeah. That shit bothers me when I hear another, melanated person say that, bro. I mean, like, how you supposed to be? How you like you just that? Brain fuck to where it's like anything that got something to do with, a darker persuasion is like frowned upon, and everything that's scream I'm against you. It is the number one thing for you. It's crazy. That's why even before you even get into conversations with people, man, you got to sit them down and have them ask themselves a series of questions. You feel me? Like the average person that sit down and claim they want to learn something, like you got to ask, do you really want to learn this? Is you going to apply it anyway? What you going to take from this? At the end of the day, outside of arguing, somebody else's point against what's being said, you probably don't even understand what's being said to you at the end of the day. Know what I mean?
Alright. Yeah, facts. Uncle Harold, how you doing today, Uncle Harold? Peace and blessings.
Doing very good. I'm doing very good. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. You want to speak on that part of the video we just seen?
Um, I'm a listening ear. Tonight I'm listening up on this thing on Powerful Bills Only. We learn something new every day. Now sometimes we might can disagree with what a person say. We might not disagree with what a person say, but at the same time, sometimes we have to be slow to speak and quick to listen. So I'm just listening and showing everybody respect, and I hope everybody is doing well up on this panel. And I'm listening.
Already. I'm gonna play a little bit more because he building right now. Right now, Uncle Theophilo
And
Banker is
you
cooking.
know what's crazy about this though? Like real quick,
Go ahead.
motherfuckers will believe this pale ass motherfucker that you just had on the screen. You feel me? Over somebody that look like them, that put in the relative research and shit like that. You feel me? I think, and we know that this pale motherfucker is a motherfucking crook. He's beyond a gatekeeper. Like he's not a gatekeeper. He's beyond that. Like let's keep it 100. You feel me? At the end of the day, but motherfuckers will
Right.
still run to him, and he's the bar. Like I mean, but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Hey, Uncle Assault, you want to speak on Zawi Hawass and politics?
Zahi Hawass is terrible for Egyptology. Remember he said they're black but they're white. He said they're
Right.
black but they're
I
not
remember that.
nigger. And you know,
Hey, bro. At this point, I wouldn't even put a cap on just Egyptology, bro. Like he fucking up African shit. Period, bro. Like you feel me? Because he's stopping the links of that to other things deeper into the continent. You understand what I'm
well,
saying?
he's trying to present. So hold on, brother Neil. He's trying to present this to the people, and this is what I noticed when I was out there. He wanted it to be where they're claiming the old Egyptian identity, which is why they get mad at you when you try to say that you're ancient Egyptian. But when you get off the plane, the first thing they was like, you look just like the originals. You look just, that's what they telling me. The Arabs is telling me this. So the problem with him is he's always been on the side of anti-black and anti-white as well. He's trying to make an Arab reality out of everything. You know, we know you were the Persians. You had, your short time after the 26th dynasty, and then it becomes Ptolemaic. So don't try to act like the ancients are you, because trying to keep perpetuating that lie when the work you see me, Smash, and Reggie do with the Medu Neter, that's undeniable to the point where the scholars have to say, yeah, you're right. You're right. And we'd be like, oh, you want to lie about this? Would you like to debate? No, we don't want to debate that, because linguistically it's a trap for them and they know it. Looking at that.
We don't want to debate that. Matter of fact, take this discussion off the YouTube channel and don't ever show this again. And between me and you, and don't ever show this.
That's right. That's right. And then last, when you know the culture and you look at the old work that they did to the new work, remember, it all comes from the South. It starts in Nakada. Remember the old pictures of the Nubians they had used to be white. They was trying to say the Nubians was white. And once that was up, then you seen E.A. Wallace Budge in his dictionary put anything that's Nahesi, anything that's Nubians per se, he puts as Negro. Then he puts the Egyptians have much Negro blood. And then we get a Zahi Hawass.
That's why they don't like Bud. That's why they call him pseudo. It's because he includes Africans in their own shit.
Yes. And
Right.
he tell you that, like, if you start to read some of them for us, he'd be like, it's clear this religion is just like the one in the Congo. It's clear that blah blah blah. He'd be saying stuff like that. So once he got off the payroll, remember they sent the Egyptologist over there to find Bible facts in Egypt. And when they got there, they realized, okay, this is where we got this from. This is from this. This is by, and it was funded by a preacher and a duke and a society. Now that that's up, you just have a Zahi Hawass trying to keep it Arab. They think that, remember, Egypt is ran off of tourism. So they think that if it turns black, nobody will come see it. But no, dummy. Don't you see everybody trying to break dance? Don't you see all these cultures trying to rap? Don't you see? If it's black, they definitely coming to see.
That's a fact.
Right, because it's like the world gravitates towards us as black people. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
started off by saying that it's like we the drum beat that the world goes by. We the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. Fact. All right, let's keep going.
Mistake, that's history. It's not up to me to say your father, and it is, but don't ask me. You know better than me. How can you ask me because I'm older where I know the name more? It's all stories, so Africans have to recover. But Marcus Garvey said, they don't believe that a single white person can write black history with any sympathy, even simple sympathy. They won't be able to, but why are you reading the day? But we have to make this revolution. Stop buying their storybooks about us. It's because we're the ones who buy the white people themselves. Don't buy these books. Did you believe the white people? They're going to buy books about Jocelyn Backey to do what in their library? They buy something else. They don't buy your stories there, except some Africanists. But the white group does not live in this literature. It is a few people who serve as pawns, that's all. So basically, whites must not ask another, tell me who my ancestor was. Try to find it yourself with your mistakes. The Chinese do not ask the Japanese to tell the history of China. Indians do not ask Pakistanis to tell them their history, even though they are in conflict. The French do not ask the Germans to write books on the history of France.
Let's get it. That was powerful.
Hey, see that's the reason why I keep saying that I don't give a fuck if they erase history out of school, because your dumbass is supposed to be teaching your kids your own motherfucking history. Why the hell would you send your kids to school and have your enemy teach them history? That shit don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Unless your kid going into civics, going into politics or some shit like that, you tell me what the hell history. Nigga, all y'all have graduated high school. Y'all been out of high school eventually, right? When has history ever came up in your life where it's like, damn, I needed that history class. Thank God. Thank God for that history class. Nigga, that bro, a total waste of time.
Yeah, most of that shit is, bro. That's why Word is Born. Everything, most of the shit in the world, real shit, like, and you go look this up, is on a 6th grade level. Reading, math, all that shit. So, I mean, I ain't telling nobody to drop out of school or don't go to school. You feel me? At least, I mean, finish high school. But, I mean, if you finish elementary school, you good. You feel me? As far as being able to navigate and, I mean, reading comprehension and
It's
shit
more
like that.
so. It's more so like finish school, get your high school diploma.
Right.
But if you want to learn about your people, you gotta go look for African.
You gotta go to your people.
African authors, African
Right.
storytellers.
Man, for me, it was two educators, man. They gave me a different outlook on history. One of them I encountered before I even entered school. It was my uncle, Dr. Raphael Casimir Jr. You know what I'm saying? He was the first black professor at LSU in New Orleans, which later became UNO. Now it's SUNO. And he used to quiz us on African history after Sunday dinner, and this was how we earned dessert. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff I learned from him, I never encountered through school. But then I had another educator that was my high school history teacher who told us on the first day of school,
You have to add them.
we're not going to teach history from these books because what these books is teaching you is his story.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I'm going to teach you history based on what I have experienced through history. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of gave me a different outlook on history. And when I want to learn about the Chinese, I go to the Chinese. You know, if when I want to learn about Africa, I go to Africans. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of trained me in a way to not accept what I'm being told in these history books that are written by Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that they done lied to us. We all know that they done distorted and perverted history. So why are we still relying on them and not the actual people who the histories belong to?
I mean, I take what they say into consideration, because you'll be a fool not to. But fuck no, I
Yeah,
ain't
right.
finna blind faith that shit.
Now, don't get me wrong. If what the white historians are saying lines up with what the Africans are saying, now I'm going to roll with it. But if this version of history is not adding up with the history that the people themselves are saying about themselves, then I got to side with the people and the story they're telling about themselves over what's being pushed to me in this book.
Hey, roll that footage, cuz.
All right, all right. Man, say man, you can't expect no damn. Say Marcus Garvey said you can't expect no white man to give to explain your history with sympathy. That's powerful.
Germans do not ask French scholars to write the history of Germany. The English are not waiting. Dutch scholars or Belgian scholars or French scholars describe English literature and teach it at school in England, huh? And yet this is taught in France. And yet there are professors who have doctorates in English literature. These teachers in France, they are going to give lectures, but we do not expect the essentials of them in England, but we expect everything, absolutely everything from foreigners. And I quarrel with you because about what someone wrote there, I told you, yes, but you wrote this, huh? Yes, yes, you said yes there. The guy also wrote this, and we quarrel. Because of two strangers writing about our history, while you have exactly the same training, if not more. On top of that, you have sympathy. But how can you be such a child? You have to be an adult. It was necessary. We didn't know. Now we go to school, they make history for us like everyone else, and we can write our history and then the others there anyway. You must not be impressed. You must stop being, even if you read the books, eh? But hey, let's cut the pair in two. Let's read their books and everything about Africa. Okay, but you might have to be impressed. Everything is wrong from one end to the other. There's not a single truth in any book of any Africanism, none, eh? You have to say things like that after you choose. You say, no, maybe Marcel Griot is the only one. And yes, the rest is zero in the Anglo-Saxon, French, Franco-German world. Everything, zero. Only Marcel Griot wrote about the Dogons. And then the Dogons buried him. They felt that this boy knew them. But the others, no tribune wanted to bury a Toubab there. Except Marcel Griot. We did the Dogon national funeral, that's all. It's a hint, you see, but the rest is zero. So the books there of mine, I don't want to name them. You know them, but read them because they are on the program. Buy because it's the environment. But I guarantee you there's not a shred of truth in it. All African.
Listen in your username, the one that you sent me.
Man, I don't know if y'all just realized what Uncle OG Obanga just said. He said everything you reading about the Dogons is false. Like how these niggas be discrediting the Dogons. He basically just said like you getting a whole outside perspective. Ain't nothing firsthand.
Right,
That's
right.
Paul.
Because see, it's like they're they guard their knowledge, they guard their wisdom and their information, and they're not just gonna give it to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? And unless you're getting it from them, then you are absolutely telling a lie. You're you're being the real pseudo. And people think they can just pick up a book written by a European and learn about these different tribes across Africa. And to me, that's the real pseudo shit. You got to go humbly to the elders of these tribes and learn from them. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to them humbly, they'll open up and give you this information because they know that it can't die with them. It can't go in the grave with them. They have to pass it down to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, us over here in the West show more interest to these cultures and these histories than the people over there do. You know what I'm saying? Some of them have become so westernized, so and they done bought into these Abrahamic religions to where they looking at their own cultures and their own tribal spiritual systems as if it's wicked. I had a couple Africans tell me that too when it was like, "Oh, you West African, why don't you gravitate towards West Africa? Why don't you?" I'm like, "Well, New Orleans does." I'm like, "That's how we get voodoo. It goes back to voodoo. That's West African. Oh, that's wicked. That's of the devil." All while pushing Abrahamic narrative. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you're African and you're demonizing your own cultural practices. Don't make no sense to me.
All right, let's keep it rocking. Hey, that was powerful, man. Um, my boy said the Dogon shit, man. You niggas don't believe none of that shit. Ain't no truth into that.
Right.
Africanist books written by French, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, and English Africanists are false. From one end to the other is a lie. They're Cretans. That means liars who know they're lying, but they're lying anyway. That's a Cretan. They're all Cretans. They lie. They lie from. It is so someone who says that here are the ones, but on Egypt it is very specific. On ancient Egypt, pharaonic Egypt, which was African and black, this Egypt is not even in Africa. It is Mediterranean. It is in the Middle East. It is things which are not even worth, and they were brown. The women were in yellow, and the others were in red. And that anything, even when the DN says this, even when molecular biology says this, even when the testimony is ancient of the sea, it's here, but it's but it's the falsification of history. I don't know why I would read his book. It must be said clearly. There is no truth in the books written by Europeans.
Man, we gotta discuss this, man. He just said molecular biology. Even when they go to DNA, it's all bullshit. We gotta discuss this.
Right. Of course. You know what I'm saying? It's Mediterranean or it's Eurasian. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be found outside of Africa as well as inside of Africa. But that's that's not necessarily true when you look at DNA. It's like most most of the studies that are being used to push this Eurasian narrative, when you look at the samples, they also carry African haplogroups. But what they're doing is trying to define African solely as being sub-Saharan African, when that's not accurate. It's not accurate by the least stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? Because Africa is diverse. You have you have genetics that originated in North Africa that migrated south into sub-Saharan Africa. You have haplogroups that originated in sub-Saharan Africa and migrated into North Africa. You know what I'm saying? And most of them these migration patterns were along East African corridor. You know what I'm saying? The like for us EM 215 and EM 35, they are associated with the spread of Afro-Asiatic languages from the Horn of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So but they're using these same haplogroups and calling them Eurasian just because they migrated outside of Africa, when that is the real pseudo shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm saying, it's like they're trying to use the SNPs of the single nucleotide polymorphisms to make a distinction when that's not what makes a distinction between black people and people of other hues. You know what I'm saying? For us, the pale people, that will go back to point mutation. You know what I'm saying? Like SLC 24A5 and SLC 45A2. So what are they using to make the distinction in these African haplogroups to call them Eurasian? It's like you can read up the peer reviews on a lot of these studies, and these questions are being asked by other geneticists, anthropologists, linguists. You know what I'm saying? A diverse range of scholars are asking these questions about these narratives that they're trying to paint in molecular biology. You know what I'm saying? To carve Egypt away from Africa, bro. And I'm not gonna stand for it. Naga front lines trying to fight that shit. I ain't lying.
Come on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when you take it back to the pre-dynastic era, know what I mean, and even prior to that, know what I mean, where they want to count as part of being the dynasties. Know what I mean, when you really look at it and shit, it's the same people. Know what I mean, they only changing the people up due to advances in technology, should we say? Because the only thing that's changing the people up into a certain point is pottery. Know what I mean? Being better than it was the century prior, as it should. Know what I mean? But we see that these people are from, know what I mean, at least from the southern east coast, know what I mean, of Africa. Know what I mean, coming from the interior. We see that the language itself is definitely coming from central. Know what I mean, at the end of the day. We can see the religion, know what I mean, itself actually coming up from the south. Know what I mean, following the totems up until the point they became anamorphic figures. Know what I mean, animals with human bodies and things of that such. Know what I mean, so everything about it, know what I mean, points to it being African. Know what I mean, but we still got people that want to sit up and listen to people that don't look like you. Know what I mean, you can even take the shit that they putting out, know what I mean, to solidify the argument that it comes from where it's at. Know what I mean, at the end of the day, just gotta know what you're looking at. If you keep listening to the way they giving it to you and listening to the brainwashing of it, you'll never look at the things that you need to look at to solidify that fact. And you'll still keep running around with this European thought in your mind.
Right,
But
right.
it's 2025, so at the end of the day, what you don't know is absolutely 100% your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault because a lot of this take a simple Google search. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to share my screen right quick. Hold up. Give me a hot second. Let me know when y'all see it. Y'all see it?
Yep, yep.
I asked a simple question. Does African Y DNA haplogroup EM35 subclades have genetic continuity in Africa, the Levant, and the Middle East predating Eurasian migration? The answer is yes. African Y DNA haplogroup EM35 subclades exhibit genetic continuity across Africa, the Levant, and the Middle East, predating Eurasian back migration. This continuity is supported by both the geographical distribution of these subclades and evidence of ancient DNA. Elaboration, origin, and distribution. Haplogroup EM35, along with its major subclades, It's thought to have originated in North Africa, the Horn of Africa, or nearby areas in the Near East. These subclades are not homogeneously distributed across Africa, with some found in both northern and eastern regions, while others are more restricted. Evidence of ancient DNA. Ancient DNA studies have provided evidence of this continuity, with ancient individuals in the Maghreb, North Africa, exhibiting an autochthonous genomic component that also appears in modern North Africans, suggesting an ancestral connection. Eurasian back migration. Let me scroll down a little bit. While there is evidence of gene flow from Africa to Eurasia, particularly to the Levant, there is also evidence of back migration, with some of these haplogroups have returned to Africa or other parts of the world. Genetic continuity in the Levant and Middle East. The presence of specific modal haplotypes at significant frequencies in North Africa, the southern Levant, and Yemen suggests that these haplogroups have been present in these regions for a considerable time, predating the Eurasian back migration. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So people are trying to skew that information and try to make these haplogroups be Eurasian to push the Eurasian narrative when they indeed originated inside of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And they'll try to use the presence of L3 on the mitochondria side to push the Eurasian narrative when this is African mitochondrial haplogroup. They'll even try to push M and N and speak in absolutes as if M and N are Eurasian when it's still a topic of debate whether or not these haplogroups diverge from L3 inside of Africa or outside of Africa after migration. You know what I'm saying?
There ain't
Even
no
that's
debate
still
about
a topic
that.
of debate today.
There ain't no debate about that. If watch, I'll do you one better. Because the argument is, are they sub-Saharan? Are they Southern Saharan? So watch this, right?
Right.
I'm gonna share this real quick. We just going to end the whole little situation. This is right here. The ancient Egyptian mummy genome suggests an increase of sub-Saharan African ancestry in the Roman periods. So if it's going all the way to the Roman period, guess what? Now let's get into it real quick. The samples recovered from Middle Egypt span around 1,300 years of ancient Egyptian history from the New Kingdom to the Roman period. Our analysis revealed that ancient Egyptians shared more ancestry with Near Easterners than present day Egyptians, who received an additional sub Saharan admixture in recent times. Now, it starts with the sub Saharan when we go up here. It's so bad. I just be like, I don't even know why y'all. Let's click this one. This is ancient DNA from the Green Sahara reveals ancestral North African lineage. The majority of Tekakori individuals' ancestry stems from a previously unknown North African genetic lineage that diverged from sub-Saharan African lineages around the same time as present-day humans outside Africa remained isolated throughout most of its existence. So if it remained isolated for most of its existence, and it was North African genetic lineage that was sub-Saharan African, guess what they look like?
Us.
Yeah. When we go to this is why I pull up the rock art, because the rock art is them in their early
Yeah, you talking
state.
about like from Tassili Niagara, right?
Yes. When you pull up that rock art eventually becomes the stela. This is how they traced some of the lineage and how they knew it was them. the bodies in the graves buried a certain way, like Central Africa. Both Takakori individuals are closely related to ancestry first documented in 15,000-year-old foragers from Tafaral cave in Morocco. And y'all seen the afros in the cave in Morocco when I showed it on Smashes before. It's very simple. It's very simple. This is not rocket science. It tells you right here, it tells you below, sub-Saharan African lineage, Southern Saharan Africans.
Yeah, absolutely. I just said that 5 minutes ago. Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
Right.
all the shit that motherfucking go with hey, you look at the evidence and the information. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at it objectively. You know what I mean, you don't even have to be like you can give it to somebody that just came into it that don't know much. They gonna come to the same conclusion at the end of the day.
exactly. And I heard you say it, and I hear him say it. That's why I just sit back. I just kind of listen now. I'm like, let me see what they saying now. Let me see.
Oh,
you're that newer generation.
that's just the paper. That's the paperwork. Know what I mean, I guess for the people that's looking. Know what I mean, like don't just take our word for it. Know what I mean, go look it up. Everything we saying, go look it up. Do not take our word for anything. You looking, you watching. Know what I mean, do the research yourself. Maybe next time we up here, you come up on a panel, we could make for a better conversation. Know what I mean, 'cause I like for the people that's watching. Know what I mean, to be interactive and whatnot.
Overstood.
By whites about Black Africa, about African civilizations. They invent Chamito-Semitic families, it is found. Where Amito-Semitic families or Froisette, it is found, it is a lie. Everything is like that, and we believe they are telling the truth. No, slavery is over. Don't be afraid. They will respect you. A guy who is not confident in himself. How do you expect me to respect you? But how do you want it? He says, but he falters. He said, oh no, we can't respect. We respect a guy who is there, a woman who is there in front of you with her opinion, with her ideas, capable of defending them. A young man who is there with his ideas. It's not the arrogant. It's them who are arrogant. We are not arrogant, but it's the truth that we are looking for. That's how it should be. They will respect you. They will call you to dialogue. He says we made a mistake, etc., but we don't even want them. No, this situation must change. The generation there must no longer live like that. The current generation must change. That's over. We've had them all, but we've made too many compromises. That led us. But he uses you when you're young, vigorous. Once you're old, he's abandoned you. Let's talk clearly and simply. Do you see the case of Senghor? No, Senghor gave everything to France. He gave Europe to France and alienation, but when he died, it was still Africans who celebrated Senghor, others not. They did not do that one of Senghor, who was a genius in poetry and who were in their most prestigious institutions. He didn't care about Senghor. What is the point of making compromises in this case? What good is it to please them? They'll never give it back to you. We have to be either like that. We discuss equality with equality. The French, the Germans discuss equality with equality. The Europeans and the Americans discuss equality with the Americans on equality with equality. You should not discuss inferiority to superiors. That's all it's no. We need to talk about equality. Oh, we need an Africa that and the world would be. We will contribute to peace because there will be no more racism. There will be respect for each other, and that is the peace of the world. And then we will make a step of not having to kill us, not having to shoot us every day, living life, the environment, the beauty of nature, the beauty of our male and female bodies, enjoyment, well-being, the conquest of space, etc. The good happiness, the literature of the imagination, cultural exchanges, creating new dances of that's what we should do. So we want him to leave us there for us but for him to stop alienating our little, or we see that it's criminal, the dead third, but there you go. The expressions, is that good, the dead third? Well, after the dead third, carbon, I don't know what they call it good, but finally, but you see that this literature is simple, developing countries, underdeveloped countries, countries in equipment, countries under, but a whole literature. But do you think you are doing the psychoanalysis of this literature? Read this literature. Is it good and good for us? Is this literature good for us? It's you and you we are discouraging more and more. Huh? And we sink into the dispossession of ourselves into abandonment. But in the United States, develop concepts of resistance, resist mode, resistant until there is. And it's women who make this movement of American Black poets. Moments of psychological resistance, you know? Yeah, you say it so well, it's an impression. Yeah, but this impression comes to us from the works, which means that Africa has not invented anything on a strict scientific level. It's an impression, but this impression is false. Indeed, today, it is recognized that Africa has a long scientific tradition. Because science, we must first also define what we expect from science or the scientific spirit first. Science is when you have a practical problem. You see, you have to find a solution for a practical one. You want to cross an immense, deep, and tumultuous river, go from one bank to another. It's a difficult problem, a problem of a difficult problem, and you have to find a solution. And this is mathematics. It is both abstract and concrete, therefore abstract. You have to reason. The river is long, the river is huge, huh? How do we get to the other side? You have to think, you know? And when you find it, you can float on the water, go to the other bank and come back with a piece of tree that's not going to go into the water. And this is a perfect and definitive solution. That's science. You have a difficult problem. You have to solve it between a definitive and perfect solution. There are not two solutions. You cannot cross the water course, go from one bank to another, unless you go in the air. But if it is on the water, you have to find a way that makes you not fall into the water. You have a canoe, and that translates all the Archimedes thrust. It translates a lot of things, you see? So that's what mathematics is. It's both abstract, both concrete, and faced with a problem that is difficult to solve. It is that Africans have had difficult problems to solve, Rain, thunderstorms, thunder. They have thunder. So I have it in my family. I have my father's little brother. How can I divert lightning?
Hey, bro, because I'm a little. Somebody said that he was pseudo.
Yeah. And say Ethel.
That's the problem, man. Like, first of all, right, we gotta understand. All right, let's just go with the thought, I guess. Right, we wouldn't be right where we at today as far as us that deal with the information, right? If we didn't have our ancestors who you goofballs today is calling pseudo based upon that it is crazy. Like, you talk to the person that said he was pseudo. Like, what do we know about this man? Like, and what is he saying is pseudo about him?
He Afrocentric basically, and that's about far as
I
it
mean,
goes.
first, because we doing a disservice. We do a disservice in the conscious community to what pseudo is, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, and when most people say pseudo, they really mean like trash, and that's not technically what pseudo is.
It's not. And
Right.
I asked them. I tried to ask them what about Theophilo Bank and Tank Ata Diop's work at Pseudo, and they really couldn't point to one thing. You know what I'm saying?
This is why when we get to do these people put these same pale skinned quote unquote scholars, know what I mean, through the same rigorous tests that they put the black scholars through, know what I mean, to see if they work is legitimate or not, or to see if it's pseudo or this straight trash at the end of the day. Because most of the stuff that I see people working with, they still working with the information that has racist undertones, right? So we know that a lot of that shit is outdated, right? You're not dealing with technically the stuff that people be dealing with to prove their stances will consider to be pseudo, right? Because it's not widely accepted. Know what I mean? You proving your stance with shit that is actually pseudo. Know what I mean? Under all, know what I mean, purposes of what the word mean, type shit. It's just wild crazy, man, to me when people sit up and wanna, I mean, talk about our black. Like you wouldn't be like you wouldn't like you fuck the information you not having today, right? Because of the information they put out and the things that they did, they made it possible for you to even have certain liberties today that wouldn't even necessarily have nothing to do with the information that you probably should know.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like we probably wouldn't even have a conscious community if it wasn't for scholars like Theophilo Banger, Cheikh Ata Diop, John Heinrich
No,
Clark.
we wouldn't.
We wouldn't even have a conscious community. But to have people in the community calling them pseudo, not only calling them pseudo, but just to outright disrespect them. You know what I'm saying? I take offense to that.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why I said, man, that's what this thing became, man. It became an ego thing, man. And in people's minds, nothing is bigger than them. And if you not a part of what proves they point right now, then know what I mean, the relevance of it is trash to people. And that's sad, man. We see that when people debate because they purposely come up and lie. Know what I mean, like you lying to the people. Know what I mean, at the end of the day, but you come up here and lie nevertheless. Know what I mean, to facilitate your ego and get this win. Know what I mean, but you out here propagating, know what I mean, false information and shit like that. You worse than the enemy at this point. I mean, you already turning your back
Right.
on the culture because you saying the people that pioneered this conscious bullshit that we had today, and by no means is it their fault. It's 100% our fault. Know what I mean? But they ushered this shit in. Like you said, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have none of this, bro. We wouldn't be sitting down having these discussions. Know what I mean? The world will probably be quite different today. You feel me? Type shit. Know what I mean? Based upon things we know, things that had to be widely accepted, which in turn change things based upon the view and politics. You feel me? At the end of the day, but you can't even argue that point with people that don't even understand the importance of the people that started this.
Yeah,
And
but it's crazy, bro. Like, even if you disagree with what they're saying, then you should have a certain level of respect for them. One, because they're elders. You know what I'm saying? They're scholars. They're pioneers. You know what I'm saying? Do we have more advanced science at our disposal today? Absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? We need to be standing on their shoulders and respect the work that they put in and further it instead of trying to tear it down and destroy it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That makes no sense to me.
Cause and then too at the same time what we have to understand and remember too, know what I mean, like the tech and the science and the information and the things that had accessibility to, know what I mean, back then is much different than today. So just because, know what I mean, something was a truth, know what I mean? Then like we dealing with science and things like that, know what I mean? So things tend to change. It could change from day to day, week to week, year to year. Shit, it go hour to hour. Know what I mean? Because we always finding things new. We always refining the methods of doing things. You feel me? At the end of the day. But just because some turned out to be something other than what one might have said on a particular topic doesn't necessarily mean that what they saying is trash at the end of the day. You feel me? We in a different time, different scope, know what I mean, using different technologies, different ways of going about doing different things at the end of the day. And then to keep it 100, like, you feel me, even though we have all this new shit, like, I'm not saying I'm proving anything to the latter of what he's saying.
Right, because they what they said was Theophilo Benga and Chank Anta Diop were laughed out of the Cairo symposium. Now that was a first for me. That's the first time I ever heard something like that. I ain't never heard that before. You know what I'm saying? So where they even getting this from?
Right. They produced that?
No,
And then
of course not.
my thing is on top of that, know what I mean? Because it ain't just a matter of producing something. Like we gotta look at the time in which these brothers lived, type shit. You feel me? Now we have to ask ourselves, all right, what's the committee? Who's there? You feel me? And shit like that. Like I mean, at the end of the day, when we dealing with a time where motherfucking the race war was different than what it is today, you feel me? I wouldn't doubt if they was quote unquote laughed out of a building that was mostly populated with the ops and motherfuckers that's trying to fixate on one story and this is the only story. You feel me? At the end of the day.
Right, right.
And I ain't even trying to give a motherfucker out, but come on, man, we gotta deal with reality now. Like you feel me? At the end of the day. That's
Yeah, I
like you
mean,
walking up into a house, a group of motherfuckers that don't look like you, and you talking da 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 da. Da. Everybody in this motherfucker know you telling the truth, but they going to unite and they frustration and hate for you and make it an unpleasant situation. Get your ass up out of here. You feel me? Like that's what's expected. Know what I mean, so for a motherfucker to even try to take that and throw that up with no proof of it, but still, like I said, even if you did have proof of it, you have to. Context is everything.
yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? And the time that they lived there, it's like my uncle, Dr. Raphael Casimir, used to tell us a story about when he first started, when he first became a professor at LSUNO. You know what I'm saying? He was like, it was three white students who got up and was walking out when they saw he was a black professor. You got to think he's the only black professor in the entire school, the first. He said he told them, "Y'all walk getting up and leaving out of my class, not hurting me, it's hurting y'all." One of
Right.
them turned around and sit back down. The other two left. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, at the end of his course, the one who stayed gave him his props and was like, "You're a brilliant professor. I still don't like you, but you're a brilliant professor." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And walked out. And that's to say, like this, that's the time that that's the time that Theophilo Benga and Dr. Chank Anta Diop was living in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So even if they were laughed at by these other Europeans, that was the way of that day. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean what they were saying or what the information they was bringing at that symposium was pseudo. It was looked at as niggas, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that don't support their argument against them. But I always ask people, what evidence do you have that these brothers are pseudo? Have you went across their work? Have you went through their work? What about their work is pseudo? Point something out that I can verify and cross-reference, rub it up against something to see if it's indeed pseudo. And for the most part, nobody comes with nothing. They can't come with nothing that's pseudo.
Yeah. Shit is crazy, man. Shit is crazy. That's why I said at this time, man, it's time to like, I mean, I ain't gonna say separate, know what I mean, but yeah, you gotta go with people that think like you, bro. That know what I mean, got the same mind frame of things, man. At this point, right? I'm too grown, and the other people that I'm talking to are too grown, right? I guess at this point to be trying to change your mind. Any mind change that go on, it had to be a personal thing. You feel me? I ain't even interested in, you know what I mean, debating, sitting up, even having a conversation with nobody like that. That's just wild, crazy at the end of the day. I mean, like as a man, you know what I mean, standing on this knowledge and information shit, you know what I mean, I can't even respect you, you know what I mean, for that.
Right. I can't even take them serious when they come like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't get it, bro. Even if I disagree with an elder, especially an elder scholar, bro. Even if I disagree with them, then I have to take what they're saying into consideration, take it into account. You know what I'm saying? And have a respectful dialogue about the information. You know what I'm saying? But they go straight into F them, fuck them. And I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, really?
yeah, that's
For
that, that's,
real.
that's that ego and emotion, man. That's that ego and emotion, man. That's why you people out there, man, y'all looking, listening, whatever, man. Y'all gotta watch where y'all get y'all information from, man. But by all means, any debate, anybody you see on any of these panels talking, bro, just research they shit. That's all I'm saying, man. Including myself, anything, and say research it, man. Research it. Because what people will do nowadays is share they feel good information. And what I mean by that is they'll come preach to you the shit that make them feel good. You feel
Right,
me? And you don't want that, right? Typically the truth don't even feel good. You feel me? Shit is a
right,
hard pill to swallow and shit to get over. You feel me? Then you gotta deal with the healing process of that. You feel me? And then, know what I mean, carry on with your best foot forward. Know what I mean, and just try to learn as much as possible. Know what I mean, but for a motherfucker like me, know what I mean, generally, I'm 46 years old. You feel me? I plan on learning shit up until the day I die. But at this
on
point,
God. For
yeah,
real.
at this point, the things I'm learning, know what I mean, or have learned ain't even for me. I'm learning shit, know what I mean, for my kids and my grandkids type shit. So I could be able to, know what I mean, retain enough to be able to pass down to them. Know what I mean?
Right.
I know I done forgot a lot more than a lot of motherfuckers know type shit. You feel me? At the end
Bro,
of the
my
day.
grandmother used to have a saying, and she used to always tell us that the day you stop learning is the day you need to lay down and die.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, so we really need to, know what I mean, step our shit up. Know what I mean? Stop running around here calling the elders pseudo. Know what I mean? Especially when you can't sit down and debate any one of their topics. Know what I mean?
Right,
At the end of the day, if you think we could, you think you could, we could motherfucking download a motherfucking program, the AI, you feel me? And that'd be like the closest thing you'll get. But, know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, you feel me? I think now about to start interacting with these AI debates, know what I mean, on a different scale than what people probably have seen as of lately. Now we got a lot of things coming, know what I mean, in the workings, know what I mean, for y'all, know what I mean, as far as information, entertainment, know what I mean, and real world things in the physical, know what I mean, at the end of the day. We about to start putting some drives together. I mean, try to help people out in different communities, things of that nature. Um, we got NAGA members across the whole United States, so you know what I mean. Once we really get things to where we want them, we plan on having um, United States wide, I guess, or American wide drive. I mean, giveaway, um, things of that nature. I mean, got anybody out there that might, know what I mean, thinking along the lines of the same thing, know what I mean, probably could hook up, know what I mean, put something
right. And,
together.
and we expect y'all to hold us to the same standard that we telling y'all to hold these other, you know, debaters to. You know what I'm saying? Cross reference everything that is told to you, whether it come from Naga or anybody else. You're supposed to go do your own due diligence and look the information up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a saying in Naga, the truth is our only ally. But you have to go and confirm whether or not it's true for yourself on your end. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the learning process. And we implore you to go through the entire process when dealing with anything Naga bringing to you. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely go cross reference what Naga saying. Go look it up for yourself. You know, and if it's real, it's real.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Already. Hey, peace to the Naga brothers rocking out with me 3 hours. My boy King, my boy Thought, you know what I'm saying, and my boy Laurel. I'm really gonna start calling y'all uncle because all of y'all is at least 20 years older than me. So for now on, it's Uncle Ruben, Uncle King, Uncle Thought, and Uncle Laurel, Uncle Anu Kakarat. Hey
Ain't
man,
nothing wrong with that, nephew. Real talk.
appreciate y'all for jumping on. I think Uncle Laurel went to sleep on us. You know what I'm saying? But that's all
Yeah,
right.
we willing to I mean, maybe another day this week, come up here, run it back, talk about something else, probably bring a little bit more energy, something more a little exciting and shit. I'm just kind of down, man. That I mean, we got our brothers, our young brothers out here running around calling our elders, like, I mean, ain't like you calling us pseudo, like you calling the people that our parents became conscious behind pseudo. Know what I mean? And you don't mean pseudo in the definition of the word pseudo. You mean pseudo as in trash. Like, and that's wild crazy. See, first of all, you shouldn't even listen to a motherfucker that's using words that don't even know what the fuck the words mean at the end of the day. You feel me? I'm
Right,
just gonna leave it at that.
right. Motherfucker try to tell y'all that your raisins. I mean, the raisins is the autochthonous North Africans, not knowing what autochthonous means. It's like it's impossible for a Eurasian to be a autochthonous North African.
Yeah, man. Sometimes these niggas just be talking, man. They get ahead of themselves, man. And just be like, I don't know.
It's that white spirit, man.
Yeah, it absolutely is, bro. It's something.
Trying to be white, trying to be the master of white information.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, man. We anytime you want to knock up here, bro, we'll come. You know what I'm saying? We could come even deeper than we came today. The dead river. We'll come flood this thing with about 5, 6 of us. You know what I'm saying? And we really need to do a show on that God is light is electromagnetism, because that's one of our most polarizing subjects. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been throwing shots at it, but they try to twist it and mangle it so they could base their argument off it. And I
Straw
think it'll
man,
be
straw man.
right. And I think it'd be better if we get it out to the people so the people can hear from us directly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go look up that guts theory and retro plasmatic cosmology.
Part of the problem is a lot of these Abrahamic people, you know what I'm saying, can't they God live in the book. You know, that's why when you came with that roast God, oh man, we was rocking with that because the roaches predate their book and they book God. You know,
Right.
for real, by millions of years, it did.
Right, right.
You can't run
That's
from it.
yeah. Nah, once they here, baby. That's it. You got to move.
You taking over they goddamn space. Goddamn it.
Right. Yeah,
You
it's just
fuck.
crazy, and it still bothers me how many people get caught up over the title. Like niggas don't even get to the second part of the title, bro. They hear that God is title, and that's it. Like you feel me? And then the second
Right.
part of the title, when they do hear it, they try to make that shit relevant to what they want it relevant to, make up an argument for us to argue, and then argue that shit. Like it's weird. Take the time out to listen and understand. Write some shit down. You feel me? Take a couple days, do some research, then come back and have a conversation. It's gonna be an interesting conversation. And the more niggas on the motherfucking call that's having this conversation, the more interesting it's gonna be. Because we all fall back, know what I mean, on the same thing, but how we unpack our shit, know what I mean, is relatively different. You feel me? But we all get it to where it need to be. Know what I mean, at the end of the day, with factual information. You feel me? We just unpack different facts, know what I mean, that equate to the same thing.
Overstood. Hey man, shout out to everybody for watching the show. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, one thing, the motto over here is we learn every day. But one thing that's for sure over here is the show must go on. So no matter what you think going on, the show must go on. This Thursday we got Uncle Asar M. Carr. He gonna be breaking down comparisons with the Bible and ancient Egypt. And this Friday we got Uncle Hercules. He gonna be breaking down white information versus black information.
Oh yeah, I want to definitely see that. I might swing through on Thursday with bruh. Know what I mean, if he willing to give up some of the on screen time,
Yeah, absolutely.
might get in there on with him. Know what I mean, let people know what part of Egypt, when and why that baptism came from, and things of that nature. A lot of people don't even know that that came from Kemet as well.
Right,
Baptism by water.
right. Come
Know what I
on now.
mean?
Yeah, we definitely. Hey man, all we trying to do. Once I heard Theophilo Banger say we shouldn't be getting none of our history from a white man. Once I heard that, that just it put a thought process in my mind, um, like even what Marcus Garvey said, you can't expect Europeans to tell African history with sympathy. So just think about that. Like it's
Right.
no emotions involved. If you take out the emotion, nigga, you taking out the feeling.
Right. Yeah, it's just like the same way with the police, bro. You feel me? There's no such thing as a good cop in a corrupt system. Same thing applies with that. You feel me?
Right.
Historical information coming from them. You feel me? Like,
It's a
oh,
good analogy.
and I will definitely tell you, there are some good white scholars out there. You understand what I'm saying? Will not take that away from them. They try to keep it 100 as much as they can, but at the end of the day,
The
that
system.
shit before it get to you gotta go through other people that probably don't even know the information, that gotta
Hey,
vet it, take
and
certain
that's
shit out.
the same thing with police officers. That's the same thing with police officers. You
Right.
might run into some good white cops, but the overall, the system, you know what
The
I'm saying?
system
The
fucked
program,
up.
right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the same way with this motherfucking information shit. Know what I mean? So although you got some good scholars out there, the light of persuasion, you feel me? The system overall is corrupt. You feel me?
Hey,
So
they'll start calling Christopher Eric. They start reading his new book. They'll start calling him pseudo.
For real.
yeah, man, we gotta stop that, man. Then there's so much going on, and just like what the brother said, man, like they'll lead you to believe, motherfucking, like, hey, yo, you know how many people today still think that Africans, like as a whole, the country, still live in huts and shit, bro? I had to show people that you got parts of Africa that's more developed than what we got going on in the United States, bro. I'm talking about parts of Africa that's on par with Dubai and shit like that. And
Yeah,
that's
for
that's
real.
stating a lot. Now I mean, for people that know at the end of the day. You feel me? But bro, like it's so much coming up from up over there, man. Like I'm trying to hook up with the guy that's motherfucking building houses and roads and shit out of rubber. Know what I mean? And it's just it is our people that's coming up with the technology and the know-how to do shit. Like you got the other brother making gasoline out of plastics. Know what I mean? You
Right,
got the
right.
other brother
A young
making,
brother too from
right,
Alabama.
You got the other brother making water, taking water from the air. Now I mean, you got the
Hey,
brothers over in Africa that's literally has a TV with no plugs and it works. He has a
right.
car with no plugs that work. You feel me?
Motorbike, helicopter. I
You
mean,
understand what I'm saying? Like
right.
these are things, and these people are creating these things with nothing, right? And this shows the root of our greatness, man. If we just get our heads from up out of these motherfuckers' asses and be willing to be uncomfortable for a little while, type shit, to get to where we need to go, especially for people that's like over 30 type shit, motherfuckers got kids. The fight that you fighting or the potential fight that you can be fighting is not even for you, bro. Just to make sure your children and your grandchildren is in a better place than you was when you not here anymore. Now, I
Right.
mean, it's not about your life. I tell people that shit. Your life immediately was over once you had children. It's all about them. I don't
That's
care
all
how
about them at that
yeah.
point. Right.
I don't care how old you was when you had them. Now, I mean, like people gonna do what they gonna do regardless who they got around them telling them what. You feel me? But when you have something that comes from you, bro, your shit is over. It's about the preservation of them type shit and
Facts.
what might come from them at the end of the day as the root or the main branch, you feel me, off of the tree that my branches come off of. I'm gonna make sure I get the most light, you feel me, and nutrition so I could be to make sure that my existential branches, which will be my family, are as strong as they need to be so they can bear fruit and things of that nature. You feel me? But it's yeah, man. We gotta do better as a people, man, at the end of the day. Because it's gonna come to the point, right, where shit gonna hit the fan, right? And you don't want to be the motherfucker that gets your neck cut because you playing the gate. Cause it ain't no you with us or you gonna go be over there. Know what I mean? Is he you're with us or know what I mean you're gonna be under there type shit. You feel me?
Right.
I don't want to speak farther than that. Know what I mean, but that's the time that's gonna come because I refuse to let a motherfucker that look like me stab me in my back because he got promised a half a piece of bread thicker than what everybody else got.
Yeah, because I mean, if you let that happen, that would be the definition of insanity. That's how we get in the position we in the first place. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Know what I mean, so at the end of the day, know what I mean, I ain't gonna. I'll keep babbling. Know what I mean, but know what I mean, at the end of the day,
Hey,
um,
thought
what's up, bro?
when you were saying that earlier, I was thinking like we gotta think what would Harriet Tubman do with these niggas that's playing the fence, playing the
Kill
field?
him,
What would
She'll kill
Harriet
him.
Tubman do?
kill him.
She'll shoot him.
Word on.
Right.
You got to, you know why? Because them same motherfuckers will be the ones that not only go tell master, right? But they'll lead the search party for your ass, right? And
And point you
pursue
out. There
you,
you go,
right?
master.
And you'll hit them with the shh, don't say nothing. They be like, oh no, no, yo, he right here. Like, yeah, nah, man, we ain't got time for that, bro. We gonna take you out right now, bro, because I refuse to let you be the one to set fire to my house and my kids burn up in that motherfucker. Straight up. And we actually seen that time and time again in our physical realities. Type shit. Like we can't keep ignoring the past, man, and the shit. And that's that part of saying motherfuckers is pseudo when trying to cancel them out is forgetting our past, bro. And it's detrimental that we remember everything that we could remember. We need to retain that shit, bro. We don't need to throw away our own shit based upon shit that don't even got nothing to do with us.
That's a fact.
Word up, we
Right.
gotta make sure.
Absolutely. For real.
Like that shit hurt my heart, bro. Like type shit. Like I don't even got the energy that I would use. Yeah, niggas know me. I'm high energy type shit. I ain't even got the like you niggas. You out here calling like the
Bro,
you shit.
I will say this though, bro. What did make me feel good was seeing the response to that being said about Neil Fowler, Binger, and Chank out to DI. It was an overwhelming rejection of that. You know what I'm saying? Of that statement, of that being said towards them. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of give me hope
Right.
that it's the minority among us who feel like that way. You know what I'm saying? But we do need to weed that type of thought process out.
It's the niggas that think they white. It's the
Right.
niggas that think it's the niggas that think white information is right information. That's the niggas that's on this self-hate. They got a self-hate understanding because they reading white books.
Yeah, niggas gotta get out that shit, man. Like I ain't even personally like a black white person type shit. Know what I mean? Although I know what I mean, certain genes carry certain traits. I'll say that type shit. You feel me? But we need to just get back to our own, bro. Just to make a long story short, we need to get back to our own strong, make our back stronger. You feel me? Facilitate what we need to facilitate for us. Know what I mean? Put our women in a rightful position where they need to be so they could nurture, know what I mean, what we trying to motherfucking put together at the end of the day. Because by no means is anything gonna get done by one of us. Like we definitely need to come together type shit. Know what I mean, in order for things to work. Ain't no black men gonna get no shit together. Ain't no black women gonna get no shit together. It's gonna take family. It's gonna take abundance of motherfuckers being together. Know what I mean, to get some shit done.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, one more time. Shout out to the Naga, man. Naga World Order. You know what I'm saying? New Naga niggas. Shout out to my Naga niggas. Shout out to the Naga. Shout out to the elders. Hey man, say man, the unks is putting in their goddamn work. And they whether you want to talk science, philosophy, nigga, what you want to talk about, nigga. These niggas is equipped to get your ass in line and get some straightening. So with that being said, um, I appreciate Ruben, Uncle Larrell, and Thought. Appreciate y'all for jumping on. And let's go and close out. I'm gonna let y'all boys give y'all closing right here.
Yeah, shout out to you, Wavy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't too many YNs out here doing it like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Naga family for coming show support to not only Naga, but the Powerful Bills only channel. You know what I'm saying? That's how we keep it moving, keep it growing. Naga family, we actively recruit new members. So if you want to get down with Naga, holler at any one of us, bro, and we can put you down. We got a vetting process that you got to go through, but it ain't hard. If you if
Oh,
you
oh,
solid,
for the people in the back, can white people join? Not
long as they stay in a white Naga lane, we ain't tripping on. You know what I'm saying? Long as they stay in their white Naga lane, we ain't tripping. Cause like we said, bro, it's like you can find this in England, you can find this in France, Ireland. You know what I'm saying? So it's just represent your culture and stand within your own cultural lane and respect us and ours, and we ain't got no problem. We could be accepting to a white Naga member. You know what I'm saying? But stay in your lane and respect our lane, and we'll be all right.
And you could also be Naga adjacent, know what I mean? And
Right.
by that, know what I mean, I'm not saying, know what I mean, that you will be anything less, know what I mean, but at the end of the day, you'll still get the same respect. You'll still be treated the same, know what I mean? It's like a mirror over here, know what I mean? You get the same thing, know what I mean, reflected back on you that you put out, know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if niggas see that you not moving accordingly, know what I mean, and you just think that this is a hangout and a cool place to be, know what I mean, we gonna really get you up out of here quick.
already.
Yeah. Shout out to DMG for coming through too. You dig? He can't show love and support.
Yeah, I want to shout out, know what I mean, Super Wavy, know what I mean, Powerful Bills only, know what I mean, bro, know what I mean, letting I come up in here, do our thing like that, know what I mean. At the end of the day, DMG, know what I mean, Naga up, NWO, know what I mean, guys like is electromagnetism, you know, like the brother said, know what I mean, we actively recruiting, know what I mean, at the end of the day. Um, no special, know what I mean, criteria, anything like that, know what I mean, just have your information in order and stand on, know what I mean, first and foremost, whatever it is you standing on. Know what I mean, at the end of the day. And
All right. One last question for the people. Can Silky D join Naga?
Oh man, that's gonna be a
um
hard one. We
um
actually get down. We rock with Silky, but Silky have to be open and listen. You know what I'm saying? If he was a better student, then that would be possible.
y'all fucks with Silky too. He just
We
gotta be
fuck with
more
Silky,
open.
like for
He gotta
real.
be more open to reality.
Right.
All
And
right, Silky.
not my reality personally. Know what I mean, just the agreed upon reality. Know what I mean,
Right.
at the end of the day.
All right, Silky. So you got a chance, man. And my nigga Jalen, you know what I'm saying? My nigga Jalen, he you know what I'm saying? He looking he could join the Nagas and build with you guys. Hey man, say man, appreciate the Nagas for hopping on. Like I say, man, this week, Thursday we got Uncle Assault. Friday we got Uncle Hercules. So it is going down. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. We out of here.
Peace.